What up?
I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut. Yeah.
Where you at, man? In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Morant.
Darnell is the Ball State legend. I'm the Warren Central High School legend.
I'm proving with a reliable source, straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to Yost.
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
Better stay in your lane. Hop into
you are fucking insane. Dude, what? You just will not give this guy his flowers. What is wrong with you?
Oh, you must have thought I was a bitch.
I am him. You's not it. What's the topic? With your logic when I flow. Big Komodo, how it's talking.
Gotta get back to letting the baby cry a little bit to see if they can soothe themselves.
That's a bar.
Issues get pressed so past it don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
I identified him after his third fight and I said that guy should be a star.
I'm so proud of the show, bro.
The gap, Smitty and Jason Brown.
Coach JB show.
What up? We are in the building. It is Doc Talk Tuesday, Talk That Talk Tuesday, Bama legend Trent Richardson, T-Rich Tuesday, and of course, the Korean co-cell himself, Steve Kim, will join us. Plus, Shaun King's going to join us on this Tuesday and help me co-host for about an hour and a half today and tomorrow. So update on that. Shaun King will join us and help me co-host for about an hour and a half, 2 hours each day until Smitty's back. And we got a loaded lineup today on this Doc Talk, Talk That Talk Tuesday. So talk, and I will talk back. And Mina Kimes, girl, woo! You're about to set the fire. You're about to get me on fire, and where there's smoke, there's fire, because I'm about to light your motherfucking ass up, Mina Kimes. You need to shut the hook up. The DEI hire days are over. You are on your last few streams. Until this red-orange man gets into the office, your days are numbered, girl. And you know it. We're going to dive into it. This show's powered by BetUS. So power that up. Go check it out. BetUS. Use my promo code CoachJB and get you 150% bonus on your first deposit. BetUS. Head on over there today. So, look, man, we got a lot to discuss today. A lot of guests on today and a lot going on. So, appreciate all you guys showing up, showing out, and getting here as we are the greatest show on planet Earth. Like the Rams were the greatest show on turf. I'm the greatest show on fucking Earth. And Mina Kimes, I'm coming at you today. Dan Orlovsky, man, don't text me no more, dog. Don't tell me to lay off Mina. Don't do it, because it's over. Your ass should have done it. You should have told her. But, all right, we're going to get into it. Dr. Jesse Morse will join us in the beginning, give us some NFL updates. Steve Kim will join us. Shaun King will hop in here and co-host with me. And T-Rich will end the show with us. So, can't wait to dive into it. Let's dive into it, man. DEI hires. DEI hires are on their last legs. Mina Kimes, you put your foot so far in your mouth this time, girl. You stated that this is the best the NFL has ever been at quarterback. This is who some of you actually out there get your news from. This is who some of you actually like. This is who some of you think knows fucking football. You are all a joke. You beta males are a mockery. A sad, sad excuse for a fucking man. And an absolute nobody if you think Mina Kimes knows anything about fucking football. This fucking female reads teleprompters, spits out data off a spreadsheet, and gives sound bites for you fanboys to swallow. This is exactly what you do. Swallow it. Just don't bite it. You literally play fantasy football. You watch her spit out nonsense, eat it up, use it, regurgitate it, and refer to Mina as a legit source to your football insight. So let me get this straight real quick. Tom Brady has come out and said this is the worst the quarterback position has ever been. Kurt Warner has come out and said this is pretty much the same thing that Tom Brady said. Bad football. Big Ben, Troy Aikman, Dan Marino have literally all said the same shit. Plus, every former NFL player and coach that I have on this show, guys like Noel Mazzoni and Lombardi and Kirk Herbstreit now is saying it, etc., says it's the worst, and they all say it to me. That, damn, JB, you've been on the hill for 5 years all alone. Now we're joining you on the hill. Yet Mina Kimes says the opposite of all the people I just mentioned, including myself, and I get it. You don't have to respect my loud mouth, yelling, shit-talking YouTube show host cat. But when you guys, what you guys do need to do, maybe you should fucking, instead of flocking to Mina Kimes for your football fucking intel, you beta male fucks. Maybe instead of going to Mina Kimes for you, and you think that she's the gospel about quarterback play, a 5-foot lady who never taken a snap from under center, took a 3-step drop, understands what the coverage stuff is. You get your coverage insight from her, and she knows more than all of us, huh? What a sad day in America when men now go to women for their football fucking sources. But what do I know? Holy shit. Lots to dive into. Dolphins take out the Rams last night on a Monday Night Football. Former Raiders coach and current Wisconsin assistant coach Jack Del Rio drives his car right through a gate, sits on a guy's front porch, drinks a final beer, and arrests himself, and then resigns from Wisconsin. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I've told you, I kicked the head coach of Wisconsin out of my office. He's a shitbird, too. But what do I know? Hey, Del Rio had enough. He said, fuck it, I'm firing myself, get loaded, and drive right up on a motherfucking person's lawn and arrest my motherfucking self. Holy shit. God damn. Hey, some people make you drink, man. I make people drink. Some of you make me drink. So it is what it is. So Del Rio's done. No shot at being a college coach again or NFL coach probably after that one. So intoxicated after driving. Oh, my goodness. Unbelievable. Georgia player Jake Pope seen celebrating with Ole Miss after beating Georgia. Listen, man, these kids now in the jersey swap era. But what do I know when I say the jersey swap era? Kirby Smart responds and says this guy's pretty much a fucking idiot. Legendary former USC football coach, rest in peace, John Robinson. LA Rams, USC, coach guys like Ronnie Lott, Jim Everett, you name it, Eric Dickerson, legendary guys, Marcus Allen. What a man, what a coach. Got to meet him and know him for a while. I coached with his son. His son is a California junior college defensive coordinator here in California. Got to meet John several times. And what a great dude. Great coach, better guy. Rest in peace. 89 years old. John Robinson passed away. Former Houston, West Virginia head coach Dana Holgorsen will serve as the new Nebraska Cornhuskers OC, offensive coordinator, versus USC. As Dana and Matt Rule have a relationship. He's been messing with them and helping them a little bit here and there as he's looking for his next head coaching job. So he'll take over the Cornhuskers. He'll take over the Cornhuskers play calling duties on offense. So it is what it is. But Woo! Appreciate it. Love you guys. Pound the like. We got a lot to discuss today. We got fuckboys and shitbirds in here as well. So it is what it is. But Mina Khan, boy. I heard the Bears are firing their OC sometime this morning as well. If it didn't happen already, I think it might have happened already. Maybe Bailey. Bailey, yep, must have happened because I see it in the chat now. Bailey, post that if you can. It was a matter of time because Eberflus knows he's on his last fucking strings too. He's on his last few play calls himself because he's going to be done. I want to know why McCarthy's still there, Doug Peterson's still there. There's a couple other guys that are still here, and why these guys are not let go yet as well. I don't know. I'm curious to see. USC 9-point favorites over Nebraska right now. I don't know if that's wow. I don't understand that one. Sean Salisbury texted me as well. Sean Salisbury is also a John Robinson guy, so a lot of legends played for John Robinson, man. Eberflus knows, and we're going to dive into that later on today, too. We're going to dive into that because Dan Orlovsky, another Mina Kimes defender, has defended Caleb Williams over the Chicago Bears. Again, another group of fucking media. Another group of media that defends the player over the franchise. When are you going to blame the fucking player? Can't wait to dive into that. We're going to have that discussion as well, man. I'm just tired of fucking dealing with the bullshit, man. I got to be honest, the bullshit. Let's dive into the quote of the day, man. Brought to you by Bet Online. What up? I am here for BetUS. BetUS is now powering the Coach AB Show with Big Smitty as our proud new sponsor. Head on over to BetUS today and bet all things Major League Baseball. We're in the thick of the playoffs. NBA is getting ready to start up, and the NFL is right dab in the middle of the season. You can bet it all on BetUS. Short, fast, skinny, tall, they bet it all. And make sure you use my promo code CoachJB and get you 150% off up to $2,000 on your first bet and up to 125% off on your second and third bet if you choose to do so. Plus, you get insurance protection and gambler's protection on both second and third bets. So make sure you head on over to betus.com, use my promo code CoachJB, and make it happen. BetUS, the best offshore book in the business. Head on over there today. Is our proud new sponsor, the Coach AB Show with Big Smitty. BetUS. Go check it out. Peace. BetUS. Head on over there today. Use my promo code CoachJB. Let's dive into it. Quote of the day, man. Every morning, you have two choices. Continue to sleep with your dreams or wake up and chase them. Quote of the day brought to you by BetUS. If you don't understand what I just said, then you're just not very smart guy. You probably listen to Mina Kimes every morning when you wake up, drink your coffee, take your shit. Every morning you wake up, you have two choices. To continue to sleep with your dreams or wake your ass up and chase them. That's why I don't need an alarm clock to wake up. I don't need an alarm clock. Just telling you. Alarm clock doesn't wake me up. Contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over to Prize Picks today. Use the promo code CoachJB as well. And your hustle determines your salary, contrary to belief. It's real simple. Your hustle determines your salary. Unless you're a fucking coddled rich baby that grew up with rich parents, your hustle determines your salary, period. And then even those rich fucks will eventually flounder and need mommy and daddy again, just so you know. And they'll need that again, and then you'll be back fucking asking for, mommy, help me out. I'm posting my little Mina Kimes rant real quick since Smitty ain't here. And I got to let the world know Mina Kimes needs to be silenced at all costs when it comes to talking about quarterbacks. She needs to be silenced at all costs. She needs to be silenced. Don't talk about quarterback play no more, Mina. Mina mad at me right now. Dan Orlovsky's mad at me right now. And everybody else is mad at me right now. And the one person that's not mad at me right now, hopefully, is our Doc Talk Tuesday special guest. Is going to get in here and talk about all things NFL injury. Our main man, Dr. Jesse Morse. What up, Doc?
What up?
Hey, man, just listening to Mina Kimes talk about quarterback play. I don't know where else to go, where else I would go other than to talk about quarterbacks from Mina Kimes. Anyway, Mina Kimes doesn't like me. We don't really get along. She's mad at me right now. But anyway, she said quarterback play is the best it's ever been, and everybody else laughed at her, including Tom Brady and Kurt Warner, who said it's the worst they've ever seen, kind of like what I say every day. But anyway, people listen to her. Doc, where are we at, man? There's a lot going on in the NFL right now, and last night's game was horrific, and I almost thought I saw Doc's getting booted out and put back in. I almost thought I saw Tua do the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And Bailey, I don't know if you can find it, but did you see Tua try to stick his head in there when he got when he threw the interception? Did you see him throw his head in there when he threw an interception? Holy shit. I thought he was about to die. What was he doing? Just run out of bounds, homie. You're not going to make no fucking tackle on nobody. This cat threw his head in there, man. It was ugly. Doc's back. Doc,
Sorry
you good?
about that. Yeah.
You're good. There you go. It's clear, too. Did you see last night's game when Tua made maybe some of the dumbest decisions I've ever seen? He throws an interception and throws his head in there, and I almost cringed. Look at this.
Yeah.
Like, this is how – look at the knee hit it again, Doc. I was like, no, you can't be this dumb. Like, just run off the field. You're not making a tackle no more.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
right
he
there,
wants
Doc.
to be part of the game. That's how he was trained. But unfortunately, it's not in his best interest to be there. We saw what happened to Mahomes and Rashee Rice. He's already obviously had his fair share of concussions, and he's very, very vulnerable right now, at least concussion-wise. His what do we call threshold for concussions is very low. Just not worth it. I'm sure in hindsight he's going to be like, damn, I shouldn't have did that. It is what it is at this point, but thankfully he was able to not suffer an injury, although depending on, he got basically clipped a little bit on the side. If it was more front or more back, I think it would have been a different story. That's where Tua seems to have his issues, is with a direct frontal impact or posterior impact.
Hey, Doc.
But nonetheless, yes, he got lucky in that regard. He made a couple questionable throws. It's so funny because I'm not used to seeing a left-handed quarterback. So when he's rolling out, he literally sometimes has to like rotate his hips to get into alignment, as opposed to the right-handed quarterbacks who just basically throw it. So it's just interesting. He made a couple nice throws. Surprised they didn't go to Waddle a lot more than they did.
After he dropped that ball, it seemed like Tua lost some faith in him.
Yeah, I mean, but they didn't target him for a while. Like he got hit 2 or 3 times early on first drive, and then and that I had cashed my bet, and I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting to class that early. And then all of a sudden, we didn't hear from him like the rest of the game, and then he missed that ball. Like, I don't know what happened, almost like CeeDee Lamb in the sun. Like we were like, what why? How did you miss that? And then I think he had 2 more later, but it wasn't a whole lot. Tyreek with that wrist injury, and then I think he tweaked his neck on that touchdown celebration. But realistically, it was a big win for them. Their defense stepped up. That was the reason really they won the game. Their offense didn't look that good. Achane was bottled up. I think over the last 36-ish games or so, Raheem Mostert has carried the ball at least 7.5 times. Like 30 of them, 32 of them, something like that. Almost all the time that he didn't leave early. He did not get a single carry last night.
He led the league in touchdowns last year.
Not a single carry. He had, from what I remember, 2 or 3 catches that were just kind of fluky. Hey, he's open. But I was surprised he didn't get a single touch. And they got, they won, so it's kind of a moot point, but only because Stafford couldn't get anything together, especially on third down. And, shout out to the Dolphins defense. OBJ looked okay. He looked a little bit better. He's, in his 10th year. I don't know how much you're going to expect out of him now. Malik Washington looked fast, real fast. And then, Tyreek didn't look good.
Jonnu Smith helped him out.
Yeah, he did. I thought he was going to get targeted. He's been getting a lot of volume over the past 4, 5, 6 weeks. He only had 3 catches and his over was 3.5. So we lost that one, which should have been an easy cash.
Doc, I love the chat when they like this TJ too nasty. And last week Stafford is back. He looks like the greatest thing ever. And now they're in the chat. Time for Stafford to retire. You fanboys, man, you got to shut the fuck up. But listen, Doc, I got to ask you something about Tua. The threshold of the concussions that you mentioned, real quick. Yeah. There's no training the brain and strengthening the brain and getting over that. Once the threshold's very low and you repeat offend your brain on being hit, and now you really have it turns to mush at that point. There's no strengthening the brain, right? Other than
so there's a couple things you can do.
Yeah.
Time does help.
But will the threshold ever get back to normal? No.
I wouldn't say normal, but I would say better than it currently is. I don't know how much data there is to support this, but I'll give you another example of someone who had several concussions earlier in his career, and he's been amazing ever since, concussion-wise. Brandon Cooks. Remember when Brandon Cooks, he had like 3 or 4. We were like, this dude might not make it another year.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at his chart recently, but he's been at least 3 or 4 years since he's had a concussion. So, I mean, obviously he's not playing right now because of his knee, but and then we're going to Chris Olave bears mentioning because of this. 24 just sustained at least his 5th concussion that I can tell. Some of that was Derek Carr and the positioning of his pass. Some of it's just the nature of the position. And now the question is like, he's going to come back. I'd be astonished if he didn't. He hasn't even got a second contract yet, I believe, from what I remember. And the talent is there, not quite as much as we thought he was going to have based on his pedigree. But now from a team perspective, you're going to be like, how much money can I put into this guy if he's one hit away from missing a month? And that's part of the justifiable concern. And then I posted the other day, I'm like, he has to think about it from, I think he has kids. He's literally 24. I mean, I didn't even know what I was doing until I was 23, 24, medicine-wise. So, like, you got your whole life ahead of you. I know you want to play the game, but unfortunately, your body doesn't seem to want to cooperate. And it's a little high risk, to say the least.
Yeah, you posted a tweet last night regarding one of the Rams players in Cooper Kupp, and you put a poll out there. It was like, should the Rams have traded Cooper Kupp? I said this a while back that I thought he was on the block. I thought Stafford could have been on the block, and that McVay and the Rams were ready to get young and start all over again like they did, a couple years ago, right before they won the Super Bowl. I think your poll's winning. Yes, they should have traded him. Why'd you say that? Injury-wise or age?
No, I mean, he's owed a lot of money. He doesn't look 100%. He's still post high ankle. Puka looks like the better player, and in terms of age and pedigree and potential, he is the better player. Cooper Kupp is a fantastic wide receiver too right now. The problem is he gets paid like a top 5 wide receiver, but he's not a top 5 wide receiver right now. And he's what, 30, 31, somewhere around there. So he's not exactly a spring chicken. Not many wide receivers remain elite at 31 and able to stay healthy. Tyreek, and I guess we can talk about health with him, but there's just not many guys. He has the pedigree, there's no question. He struggled with injuries over the past couple of years. The Rams have a very, very tough battle to even potentially make the playoffs. Are they one of the best 7 teams in the NFC? Probably not. I think that's probably a fair statement. they're closer to the bottom than they are to the top. And you know, Robinson looked half decent. Whittington looks half decent. You know, Atwell has always been, you know, there. I just think yes, I understand. Hey, we're going to make a run. Everything goes perfect. We win 6 or 7 in a row or something like that. You know, then we maybe can kind of slide into the playoffs. But you start losing 1 to 2, and now, you know, now the problem is you what do you do with this contract? You know, and I think the problem was they couldn't get a good value for him. They wanted like a 2nd or 3rd round pick, which was never going to happen. So it's like, okay, yeah, I'll take his contract for a 6th, but they're probably like, it's not worth a 6th.
Yeah, that's
just not worth my headache.
Their first O line's finally healthy. They're all back. Last night was their first game back, I think, as a unit. Kupp and Nakua, you know, they still look kind of a little bit injury riddled. I don't think they're out there, Doc, as we know, but are they really out there? And that's my question. I don't really know. Give me some big updates, man, on what's going on in the injury world.
Some big updates. I'll start with quarterbacks like I usually do. I'm assuming Dak Prescott is done for the year. He's visiting a hamstring specialist in New York, probably at HSS yesterday. I'm expecting them to announce today, probably, or maybe tomorrow, that he's having season-ending surgery, which is justifiable for this injury. They looked absolutely atrocious. CeeDee Lamb, with his AC sprain, which wasn't particularly concerning, went 5 catches for 15 yards. I don't know where he finished at, but that's where he was at for towards the end of the game. I'm like, that pretty much tells you all you need to know. You know, we'll see. Cooper Rush is going to continue, but that they need to blow it up. They don't have a running game. You know, they're losing a lot of their guys in their prime. They're just wasting away, unfortunately. Trevor Lawrence, this kind of flew under the radar. They announced, I forgot who it was, I think Diana Rossini on yesterday, Sunday, potentially season-ending left shoulder injury for Trevor Lawrence, even though it's not his throwing shoulder. This is probably the same injury that Anthony Richardson had last year. What we call a type 3 AC sprain. Half of these undergo surgery. Half of these usually do good with just conservative management. Problem is that they take about 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks to really start feeling better. Doc or Coach, my question for you for this one is, how important is that left shoulder for a right quarterback, throwing quarterback?
It's more important than people think. I don't think people understand. You can't just totally brace it up and act like I don't need it and throw. It just doesn't work that way. This is your we call it we want to say I want to sock the wall with the throwing hand and I want to slap the wall with the offhand. And there is no pronating that can occur. So if people out there understand what pronate is, I have to be able to pronate when I throw a football, get the index finger down, the thumb down, and pronate. This way is everything is what we call, Doc, supinate, right? He's going to do this. He's going to supinate, and the ball's all going to spin the opposite way. And if his arm's locked, I have no rotation at all. I can't drive my legs. I can't transfer my body weight and get into the throw. So left shoulders are huge. Plus, Doc, if I can't get my lead shoulder down when I throw the football and it's up, the ball's going to sail high every time. I got to get my lead shoulder down. And if it's strapped up,
that's the problem right there.
It's probably in a fixed position, right?
If it's truly a type 3, the AC joint ligaments are not attached to the joint.
Yeah.
They're no longer attached. That's the definition of a type 3.
So I got loose. I got everything's loose in here, and I got a fixed harness on my thing, right? So I can't move it, right?
The harness is usually for a dislocation. This is for an AC separation up here. So the problem is you have ball and socket, and then you have AC up here. When AC doesn't have any ligaments attached, it's riding really high. So if he takes off his shirt's going to be like this because there's no ligaments holding that down. So he can't pull that shoulder down because there's no ligaments holding it down.
And I'll teach my guy to put the face mask on that shoulder. And I can't do that because my shoulder's going to be like this.
It's so there's nothing holding it down. So I didn't, I don't know the intricacies of throwing a football, but that makes a lot more sense. I'm like, why is this such a big deal for Lawrence? I understand maybe, he tweaked his shoulder or something, but apparently, obviously it was enough he looked decent in practice, but, practice and game are different. If this is truly a type 3, his season's probably over. And Mac Jones will take it the rest of the way, but he looked, I mean, the Minnesota's got a solid defense, but a little, unfortunate. And now we have to think about the ramifications of the rest of the team. Brian Thomas Jr. didn't look good. Ingram didn't do anything a whole lot. Like, Kirk's already done. So, like, now this offense goes from semi-relevant to awful, nothing. In terms of Mahomes, he tweaked his ankle, he'll be fine. Hurts tweaked his ankle, he'll be fine. He's playing incredible ball. Lamar playing really well. That back and knee have been bothering him reportedly, but he's been playing through. A lot of people wondering about Jordan Love. He should be back to 100% or very close to 100% with his groin, playing through that previous game before the bye. Unlikely that he injured it much. They haven't been firing on all cylinders. Maybe they can kind of start feeling better. Christian Watson's ankle should be feeling better with that medial ankle sprain. Jaden Reed was banged up. Dontavian Wicks was banged up. So maybe they can finally look better. Tucker Kraft was banged up. So we'll have to see. Aaron Rodgers has just accumulating injuries. He's probably the only one in the NFL that's older than me. And realistically, I don't know if he's going to make it through the season. Like, he's got, ankle, hamstring, knee. Like, and Will Levis looked. I didn't watch this game, but reportedly looked better, more poised than he did earlier in the season. So we'll see how that plays out. Miles Sanders likely suffered a season-ending ankle fracture. They haven't announced it yet, but that's likely what it's going to be. Chuba Hubbard admitted in a press conference, which is super rare, that his kneecap, or like he said knee, but it was likely his kneecap, dislocated.
Yeah. That's what they signed him, right?
And which isn't a huge deal per se, but it's it can be a little annoying and concerning. He's probably wearing a brace.
Doc,
I traditionally
it's happened before. He said that he's had that happen before several times, and I had it.
Yeah, that's very common.
It pops back in, but that's kind of threshold like a concussion, right? The more it happens,
Correct.
the more it pops out. Yeah.
Correct. And some people, I'll give you a little deep dive medical knowledge here. Some people are born with the patella or the kneecap a little higher, a little closer to the head. So that allows for this. I've seen this before. That allows for that kneecap not to sink into the groove, and as a result, it's a lot easier to pop out of the joint. He might also have sprained his MPFL.
I had it happen, and then I got Osgood Slaughters after that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of issues that can happen. Osgood Slaughters is a problem.
I got it on my right knee, man. It's huge too. It's like a big ass.
Yeah, it can be a game changer. It's just basically a fracture that doesn't heal. Moving on, I wouldn't say he'll be fine, but he'll be fine. Jonathan Brooks surprisingly inactivated, even in Germany. Now with Miles Sanders likely done for the year, I'm assuming he's going to be activated after the bye. Just kind of surprising that they waited until week 12 to play him. Fantasy owners, in revolt. Aaron Jones, he tweaked his rib, and he ended up likely a cartilage injury, not overly concerning, but definitely something to monitor. And Najee Harris, also an ankle injury. He got the volume, but he didn't do a whole lot with it. Jaylen Warren looked much better. He's back from a PCL. Tank Bigsby's been re-injuring this ankle over and over again. Brian Thomas Jr., Robinson Jr., could potentially play this Thursday. I think this is what they've been priming him for. They're saving him from himself. Unfortunate loss last week. I thought they were probably going to pull it off. They didn't. They play on Thursday, so this is a short week. I don't know if they're going to have any actual practices, but I have a feeling if he's going to return, it's going to be this week, which would be big for fantasy owners. James Conner looked incredible, at least in the receiving role. He's on a bye with his finger. McCaffrey, welcome back. So much for a running back by committee. He got 20 something touches. He didn't look amazing, but he looked, he's a threat. He looked really good as a receiver, which is how he should be used more so, in my opinion. His rushing didn't look very good at all. I think the other Guerrero and Jordan Mason got 1 or 2 touches each. Like, that was it. So
is he? You think he's a full go? Like,
they're going to ride this. They're going to ride this because now that they don't have a whole lot of leeway. So I think they're going to ride him, maybe not as hard as they used to, or at least, until the playoffs, when he has one game, each game is win it all. But I think they'll be smart with him. The more important games, they'll push him hard. Maybe the less important games, maybe that they can get a handle on, maybe they end up basically using the other guys. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not super worried about re-injury acutely, but it's always a threat. But it's not like it's like 15%, somewhere around the 20%. I'm not huge deal. Tony Pollard now pretty much splitting with Tajay Spears now that Spears is back, which is unfortunate as a Pollard owner. Edwards looked better. Gus Edwards came back and looked pretty good with his ankle. Jamal Williams kind of irrelevant. Damian Pierce relatively relevant. Kamara, a hand fracture, should be pretty much 100%. He continues to look like a beast. And then Nick Chubb should look even better this week. Still not at pre-injury level, but better. Tyreek Hill reportedly tore a ligament in his wrist in the preseason and ended up reportedly re-injuring it during his arrest, even though we just find out about this yesterday, the day before, 2 months later. Maybe they're building a case. I don't know. Nonetheless, pretty much irrelevant last night. They tried for a couple things. Yes, he got a 1-yard touchdown or something. But in general, he's not the same player. He wasn't the same player. And that was a defense he could have feasted on. The projections had him as a top 5 play this week. Definitely not a top 5 play. So we'll have to see.
You said Mike Evans. You mentioned Mike Evans.
Not yet. I'll get there in a sec.
Okay.
Worthy might have tweaked the shoulder. Not a big deal. Lamb will be better than last week. Olave probably on IR, possibly season ending with his concussions. AJ Brown, fine. Devonta Smith tweaked his hammy, and he didn't do a whole lot. Not surprising. Drake London looked great. Pittman missed the game with his back end finger. They look all out of sorts. Keon Coleman reportedly out this week against the Chiefs and flew to Germany to get a procedure on his wrist. Likely a fracture, if I were to guess. I don't know. The flew to Germany part is not technically confirmed, but I did see some comments from his agent on Twitter or Instagram, wherever it was. Either way, he's out. I think Mari Cooper probably comes back. I think there's a decent chance the Bills beat the Chiefs this week in Buffalo. Wouldn't surprise me. The Chiefs have been playing with fire. Nico Collins was, I would say surprising. All the reports, he's running 20 miles an hour. He looks great. He's dancing on the field in practice on Friday. They were like, hey, maybe they're messing with the Lions' head and not activating him until Friday. And then they end up inactivating him and they lose the game to someone who throws 5 interceptions. Like he is the difference maker. And Stroud does not look nowhere near the same quarterback without him. And maybe it was risky to potentially activate him, but it just cost you a loss. That was a potentially big loss. So it's just unfortunate. Juwan Jennings looked pretty good. He had a weird psoas injury. He'll be better with each week. Mike Evans is on a bye this week, but he should be back next week, assuming he didn't have any setbacks or anything. But yes, and then T. Higgins, remember that he had that significant quad strain, just poor timing of it, which is why he's missed, and then the short week, which is just stacking. I'm assuming he's going to be back this week. I'd be really surprised if he's not. Jamar Chase is an absolute monster, like bananas. And it's kind of crazy that he how good he is. It's like who, but nonetheless, I think they're a better offense. He might be
trying to play both sides. T. Higgins might be trying to play for a fucking extension or a one out of Ken's or out of Cincy too.
He could be, but you just proved. Well, it is. I guess you could say he justified it because they lost, but it wasn't the offense that
No.
cost them this game. Like,
Hey, Burrow threw 5 touchdowns and lost, and Goff throws 5 picks and wins.
yeah. So and what Jamar had 2 something. He had more receiving yards in one game than like 10 guys had the whole season
Almost
so far.
300 yards, yeah.
Like crazy. Like just he's a beast. There's no questions. Puka not 100%. You can still see he's a little hobbling. DK should be back this week with his MCL sprain. I think they were being super cautious with him, rightfully so, because he's an important part of the team, and that's a very high risk for re-injury, especially if you get hit there again. You will likely tear the ACL. It's a high risk, which is what happened to Cooper Kupp, 17, 18, whatever year that was. Finishing strong with tight ends. George Kittle suffered likely a re-injury to his hamstring. We'll have to see how severe it is. He's had a different injury each week for the past 6 weeks. So the dude just plays through injury and continues to be a baller. Kincaid suffered likely a PCL sprain, landing on a flexed knee. Tried to come back in, wasn't able to. Schultz, I think, had this a couple years ago. This is what Puka had earlier this year. Probably not as bad as Puka's. This is what Lamar Jackson had several years ago with his knee. This is a significant instability issue. So I think he probably misses this week unless he got super lucky. And then they have the bye, and then good chance he'll be back after the bye. Khalil Shakir is probably going to eat again. And then, with Keon out, I think Cooper probably returns. Curtis Samuel looked pretty good last week coming back from his pec strain. Goddard suffered a new injury. I don't know what it was. Maybe he just tweaked his hamstring, but he ended up, I think he'll be okay. Sam Laporta day-to-day with a AC sprain, probably a type 1, a mild one, not overly concerning. I think he plays. Both Pitts and likely kind of playing or trying to come back from hamstring injuries. Pitts played, did okay. Likely was out. And then we'll see a couple of the other guys. Hawkinson looked really good, potential top 5 tight end rest of season, which is kind of what I was hoping for when you drafted him in that 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th round and put him on IR. We'll have to see how that plays out. But I trimmed the list this week because it was getting a little crazy, and it's still at 62 before all the new injuries come out tomorrow.
No doubt. Goddamn. I don't know how you do it, man. You're the hardest working man in sports. I'll tell you that. Follow Doc on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as he's doing the experts right on TikTok. Injury experts.
The injury experts, yeah, with a Z.
With a Z.
I got one question for you, and you answer me truthfully. It don't hurt my feelings. My supplement that I sent you. Have you tried it, and do you feel anything?
Yes, I have tried it. So explain what. So I'm supposed to take 6 pills a day. I've been taking them 3.
You don't have to. So here's long story short. So I'm a sports med doc, right? This is one of my clinic rooms. Past 7-8 years, right? I see more than that, but I see patients with back pain, arthritis. So what are they doing? They're taking ibuprofens, Aleve, diclofenac,
keep talking.
Voltaren, all these anti-inflammatories. What's the problem with these? These increase your blood pressure by damaging your kidneys. If you eat them on an empty stomach, they will start beating up the lining of your stomach and can cause a hole in your stomach called an ulcer. They are actually bad for your joints. There is data to support that ibuprofen actually damages something called glucosaminoglycans or GAGs, which injures the cartilage in your joints, thereby leading to arthritis. Something that most people don't know. Yeah. So what I said, I was like, you know what? Here's the problem. We have these super potent natural things in life that China's been using and India's been using for thousands of years. But most people don't want to eat random plants and just start, grinding them together. We don't even know what's what. So I'm like, there are like 15 to 20 different things that are really potent, that are really safe, if you get them pure, that you can take that aren't going to damage your kidneys, aren't going to damage your liver, that have data for years, studies for years. Ginger, which most people eat or drink every day. Resveratrol, which is in red wine and grapes and stuff. Curcumin, which you've probably heard of, turmeric before. A black pepper extract, which activates a lot of this stuff. So there's a lot of different potent things from around the world. And I'm like, you know what? I can use each of these at their correct dose to optimize pain relief and decrease inflammation, which is the root of all disease. So I was like, you know what? I buy all this stuff on my own. I spend $800,000 a month on this stuff for myself. Like, what if I just put it all into one pill and then basically sold it for $50? That's what I did. It took me a year to coordinate everything and get it, but my goal is to decrease inflammation, improve quality of health, and do it so without damaging your liver and kidneys and everything else. So,
Man,
this is my way of giving back.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I can't thank you enough. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it feels like usually I get sluggish like halfway through the day, especially if I wake up at 4 every day. I get up, do the show, then I do a bunch of other shit. Yesterday I had to go pull my yacht out of the water and bring it all the way here, and then I gotta get it maintenance this week. So it's gonna be in the shop for a few weeks, and that's a bitch alone. Trying to get it out the water onto the trailer, lacking it up, pulling it. Unbelievable, right? So that was a bitch, but this shit makes me kind of like I don't hit that wall for some reason. And I know it's not like a ephedra or it's not a metabolism increaser. It's just kind of like you said, it's natural.
So there is a green tea extract in there, which most people, you probably had green tea, and some of you drink it daily. That's in there. That actually increases metabolism and gives it a little energy, even though it doesn't really have pure caffeine in it. I just launched it really yesterday, so you had it before anybody really else had it.
Is there a link yet? Is there a link?
Yeah, it's Amazon's challenging. They're very frustrating to work with, so it's not there yet. It will be there eventually, but allnaturalrelief.net is where you can find it.
Allnaturalrelief.net.
Yeah. If you check on my Twitter, my pin tweet, you'll see it. Right now, 3 twice a day is max dose, or I wouldn't say max dose, but is normal. You could take 1 twice a day. I have some people that don't feel anything. That's okay. I have some people that don't have the pain and aches in hands and swelling in their hands, especially the manual labors. And some people, eat ibuprofen and Aleve like candy. So I'm like, I'm giving you another alternative that I personally take that has justifiable individual studies, not collectively. So, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I just want to let the world know there's other options, that you don't have to take something that unfortunately is wrecking your liver, your kidneys, and your joints and your stomach. And this cool thing is it helps the brain. It helps depression. It has some anti-cancer properties. At least some of them do. So there's some cool stuff in there.
Naturalrelief.net, allnaturalrelief.net.
Yeah. Click, if there's a section of all the different stuff, click on the individual ones and you can read about them. I did a super deep dive in each one. And then if you scroll down to the bottom, there's links to studies. This isn't random. These aren't random. These studies have been around for years. These are all natural things that they used to use 4,000 years ago. I'm just identifying what they are and putting it at the right dose that we know of. If you're on a blood thinner, be a little careful. That's the only thing I will say. But that's my soapbox for the day. One of my ways of giving back.
Shout out to you, man, for getting this done. Everybody in the chat, make sure you guys go order now. Appreciate everybody ordering right now. Click on apple cider vinegar, whether it's a chewable, a pill, or the actual put it in some honey and orange juice like my grandma's done till she was 105 and she swears by it.
Yeah, I mean, I tried it years ago. I thought I was going to vomit after every time. But there is some
diluted, Doc. I had orange juice and honey is how I drank it.
But there's some beautiful benefits to it. I get it in other ways. The beauty of it is it helps with blood sugar regulation. It can help with weight loss. It can help with your cholesterol. It helps support your skin and your heart. So it has some beautiful things if you can tolerate it in some way. It helps your hair. I mean, so there's a lot of cool benefits of it. And most people should probably be taking at least some vinegar a day. Another thing that I'll tell people that is becoming more popular again is that if you're looking to optimize brain function, focus, which everyone should be, you've probably heard of it before, but you were probably like, oh, that's for guys who are trying to bulk up. Creatine.
Oh.
Creatine. Dirt cheap, $20 for like 6 months supply, like literally. Take a cup of water, filtered preferably, put a scoop in 5 grams, somewhere around there. You can do up to 10, and just swirl it around and chug it. Don't mix it with anything acidic because it won't be effective. This is what our brain uses to optimize. This is what, yes, it will pull in a little water weight and you'll gain a little muscle. Probably not the worst thing. But it is so good for the brain. And most people have zero idea about that. And your doctor's not going to tell you that. So I am. But, dirt cheap. I get mine on bulksupplements.com. You can get it wherever you want. It don't matter. It's usually super clean. But simple, cheap, really effective. I don't care if you're 15, probably do a lower dose at that age, or 80. You're fine. We make it naturally. This is just giving you a little bit more. Don't take 10 scoops. 1 scoop, maybe up to 2 a day, and you'll get great benefits.
No doubt.
Creatine monohydrate, super clean, super pure, super classic, great for brain health.
Man, a lot of good info right there. A lot of people go check it out. Go buy it right now on Doc's website, allnaturalrelief.net. Go on over there right now today and get you some. Doc, as always, we'll see you Friday with the updates before what are we now? Week 11, headed into week 11.
Going fast.
Chiefs are undefeated. The Lions are on their ass, and the Bills are coming up fast, and they got to play on the Chiefs this weekend. So hopefully we'll see who's
Some good games this week. Real good games.
Yeah.
Thursday game, the Steelers and the Ravens, the Chiefs and the Bills. There's some good games.
No doubt, no question. We'll see. Hopefully the injuries die down some, not literally but figuratively. Doc, we'll see you on Friday. I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. Take care.
Peace. Head on over there right now. He's got his own name and tag and everything, man. I'm telling you, I've been taking him. He sent me a shitload. He sent me some, man, and I've been doing it to try it. He wanted me to be his little sample test dummy. And I was like, if I die, motherfucker, don't fucking I'm not endorsing you. So it is what it is. Hey, Bailey, Shaun's going to jump on at 8 and finish the show. So he'll jump on after Steve Kim, 8 to 9. Shaun King will join the show, and he'll co-host the last hour with us. And then tomorrow he'll do about 2 hours with us until Smitty gets on back on the show. Let me get this going. So pound that like, subscribe, become a member, man. We got a poll question. Brought to you by Skybox Ticker. Head on over to Skybox today, skyboxsports.net, and tell them that I sent you. Skyboxsports.net. Get you this right here for your man cave, your office, your lounge, your coaching office, whatever it is, short, fat, skinny, tall. Skyboxsports.net has it all. And use my promo code CoachJB. Poll question. Is Joe Burrow the Matthew Stafford of today? Great player, bad team. Is that what Joe Burrow is? Is he going to be the Matthew Stafford when he was in Detroit? Drop your questions and comments in the chat. Good question to have, I think, man. Is he on the Matthew Stafford trail to being great but never winning a meaningful football game? Is he going to have to be traded to get his first Super Bowl ring as Matthew Stafford was? Drop that in the chat. Man, it's a tough one. He gets to the Super Bowl very early. Stafford never really got a shot to get to a Super Bowl in his career with the Lions, but Burrow has. And Burrow has a better opportunity, in my opinion, in the AFC. There's Mahomes and Allen. Burrow owns Allen, and he wins against Mahomes. Like, let's be honest, he can beat those two. Lamar has yet to prove that he can win a big game. So I'm thinking he still has a shot in Kansas City or in Cincinnati, but his team is riddled every single year to start the season. He's got drama. He's hurt. Chase wants out. T. Higgins wants out. The place is never right. It's never right. So I don't know if it's going to be a trade that gets him over the hump, but he's a hell of a player. He's doing all he can this year, having one of his best years, but their team's just fucking bad. They're bad, man. They're bad. So we're going to dive into it later on. We got a lot to discuss, man. Dan Orlowski says that Caleb Williams is not the problem in Chicago. We're going to dive into that. Some more Mina Kimes talk, as I released a video of our rant this morning. And then we also got a lot to discuss with Steve Kim. Some boxing news on the week of the Paul Tyson fight this Friday. We got some news, some other breaking news with some new Haney fight in the works. We're going to dive into that with Steve Kim, plus his Miami Hurricanes that he was at and watched lose. We're going to dive into that, Miami Hurricanes, and so much more, man. I can't even discuss it right now. It's all in the hush. Shh. Make sure you're quiet. We're about to, the Republicans are about to take the Senate. They're about to take the Senate. D. Jones and them. You guys are fucked, homie. Hey, we'll see you on the other side of this commercial. Give me 5 minutes. Peace. Coach AB's Fastest 3 Minutes, brought to you by Slapdick Cigar Lounge and Studio and the Coach AB Show with Big Smitty. Let's get into it. Fastest 3 minutes. We start here with the Chiefs and Broncos. Queendom, oh my goodness. The Chiefs only play 90% of their games at home, and they get saved by the refs. Holy shit, Denver and Bo Nix look like they got a shot, but nope. We find Travis Kelce, a.k.a. Taylor Swift, for the touchdown, and then guess what? Andy Reid blocks a field goal, and oh my goodness, the Chiefs' Queendom stays undefeated. Patrick Mahomes having the worst season of his career, but they stay undefeated, 9-0. Hamburger Andy Reid. Bills and the Colts. Flacco looking like he's 45, and the Bills looking like they're a Super Bowl contender. 8-2. Take on the Chiefs next week. And oh my goodness, let's see what Josh Allen can do. MVP front runner right there. Addition by subtraction without the shitbird Diggs. Washington Jaden Daniels looks like Rookie of the Year for sure. Possibly MVP. Dropping dimes. But Russell Weirdo says, hold on. Let me throw a moonball to guess who? Mike Williams. Guess who couldn't do that? Aaron Rodgers. Holy shit. Here we go. The Eagles and the Cowgirls. And oh my goodness, Cowboys, you guys are horrible. What up, what up, what up, man? This is a proud new sponsor of the Coach AB Show with Big Smitty. And it is First Round Performance.
Yeah.
Make sure you head on over to firstroundperformance.com. We got the merch, the gear. They are top-notch company.
High quality, JB. All about the quality here. Workout gear, exclusive gear. What's that right there, JB?
By the way, nobody else in the country or the world has this short right here. You can put this short on. It helps your back. It helps your hamstrings, helps your quads as you work out.
What?
You can wear these right underneath your workout shorts or what have you. It's kind of like a girdle, but very, very comfortable. Shorts Against Syndrome. It's SAFS. Go head on over there and check it out. First Round Performance.
JB, they got workout bands. They got ankle weights.
What's this?
What's in that box?
Yo, kind of
It's our first time seeing this.
What's this?
I'm nervous. What's that?
It's a 40-yard dash electric timer. You can go get your workout on with the light and the strobe, the whole deal. FirstRoundPerformance.com.
Oh, you just turned it on, JB.
Bam.
You want that smoke?
Go check it out.
I know you ain't trying to race me,
I might
JB.
race Smitty and smoke him.
You ain't trying to race me. You scared of that life.
Yeah, this is real deal. You guys got to go check it out. FirstRoundPerformance.com. Head on over there. Proud new sponsor of the Coach JB Show.
Nice, JB.
With Big Smitty. And
oh, this is mine, right?
hell yeah. Listen, their premium gear, including the revolutionary SAFS shorts I just showed you, are expertly designed by a leading orthopedic surgeon to align your hips and relieve your pain. It is trusted by athletes and active individuals alike, whether you are pushing your limits with their high-quality resistance bands, as Smitty just showed you, or boosting recovery with the powerful dual-spectrum red light therapy devices that I just showed you. First Round Performance delivers the tools needed to stay at the top of your game. Whether aiming for peak performance or simply wanting to live pain-free, they've got you covered. Visit FirstRoundPerformance.com or shop on Amazon today. They just launched their Amazon store.com, their Amazon store. This is out there, First Round Performance on Amazon. And so go help them out and grab some performance gear today. And please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions.
Yes, sir.
Go First Round.
Go First Round, baby.
The promo code will be Coach JB. So check that out and head on over there today.
Get right, baby. First Round, the highest quality.
First round performance. Go get you some merch.
Ooh, I like this shirt. I like this shirt, JB.
Peace. Yes, sir. We are back in the building. I got to ask you something. I want to ask Ryan Clark, Mina Kimes, all the motherfuckers that voted for Kamala who are mad right now that Trump won the election. He hasn't been inaugurated yet, though. I still think some sort of coup will happen. But all you motherfuckers over at Disney, I want to ask you something. Do you know Kamala Harris paid Glorilla, whatever the fuck her name is, Cardi B, what's her name? Megan Thee Stallion, over $10 million for some boo-boo ass performances for some bitches who can't read, who show their ass and titties, and that's what you thought sold America? The dumb fucking idiots in this country, I swear to God, are some of the dumbest. It bit you in the ass. D. Jones, I'll hit all three. That don't have nothing to do with who I voted for or don't vote for or root for or endorse. She could gawk all day. Megan Thee Stallion got ass. But look, do you guys know that she spent $1 billion on the fucking campaign and is now $20 million in the hole and can't pay her staff? Hold on, though. Hold on. Spent $1 billion, $20 million in the hole. Hold on, DMV living. I said $10 million combined for the three, you dumb fuck. Why don't you listen and take the dick out your ear, motherfucker? But hold on. Take a listen, DMV, oh bitch-ass motherfucker. Take a listen to this. Y'all thought this bitch was really going to fix the economy. This bitch is $20 million in the hole and spit $1 billion, and y'all thought she was going to help the fucking economy. That's the fucking dumb fucks like DMV out there who really listen to dumb fucks spit fucking drama out there. You listen to fucking... You get your football news from Mina Kimes, DMV. You get your motherfucking political advice from Glorilla. You can't make this shit up, homie. That's on everything, motherfucker. You get your fucking advice from Megan Thee Stallion, motherfucker. And then you go watch ESPN and get your football and how to cover 2 with Mina Kimes. That's DMV and all these motherfuckers in the chat. That's the motherfuckers. They go listen to Ryan Clark because he's a brother and he's always right. Right, DMV? Shut your motherfucking ass up. None of you motherfuckers hold my left nutsack, motherfucker, when it comes to hood talk, football, food, bitches. None of you motherfuckers. Take your bitch ass up out of here, DMV. You soft motherfuckers. You can't handle no real talk shit. You motherfuckers listen to rappers who are fake entertainers for your motherfucking advice. And this bitch paid them $10 million combined, and that's who y'all thought was going to win the motherfucking election. You motherfuckers are dumb as a rock. You listen to this ratchet-ass bitch lead your daughter into motherfucking the real world, homie? Get your soft pussy asses up out of here. No wonder your daughters and sons are all fucked up. Y'all take advice from rappers, homie. Rappers? Motherfucker, you act like I listen to Tupac and Biggie for motherfucking real advice. The motherfuckers is fake too. Snoop Dogg motherfuckers as fake as they come, homie. Come on now, you act like I don't know. You act like I listen to Eazy-E for motherfucking how to move dope, how to push weight. You motherfuckers are so goddamn delusional in your day-to-day lives, it's unfucking believable. Holy shit. That's why y'all microwave your food, motherfucker. None of you can cook. None of you motherfuckers can cook. Everything's microwave fast food, you fat wobble body fucks. You fat fucking Keith Smiths. You know why? Because none of you are fucking eager enough to learn how to do something new. You don't want to learn a new trade. You want to depend on some fucking bullshit. Whoopi Goldberg ass bitch shit. You want to listen to fucking self-help videos and Mina Kimes teach you cover fucking two. That's what you motherfuckers live by. And you got a fucking gym on every corner in this country. And you got a vitamin shop on every corner in this country. And y'all in here looking like Keith Smith. Keep your motherfucking real. Soft pussy motherfuckers, man. Glorilla said it, so I'm going to do it. Megan Thee Stallion got ass. She threw out the first pitch in the Yankee game in some jeans. That bitch was bad. I'm listening to her. You think I listen to Amber Rose, you dumb fucks, and that's pushing me to the right? You think I listen to any of these celebrity motherfuckers? You motherfuckers have no independent mindsets, homie. None of you motherfuckers. You all think that one motherfucking fake-ass celebrity who's probably a pedo and a child trafficker, you listen to these motherfuckers over going and doing some own deep dive research. Holy shit, man. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. That's what you motherfuckers do. It's unbelievable. And you wonder why America's fucked up. Shit. You finding Bosa, motherfucker, for wearing a hat. Ain't that freedom of speech, motherfucker? Ain't that freedom of speech? You motherfuckers in here talking about freedom of speech, listening to Glorilla? Guess what? Wearing a MAGA hat's freedom of speech too, dumb fucks. You motherfuckers are so hypocritical in your own motherfucking beliefs, you don't have no other thoughts in your motherfucking life. You can't think outside no box. You can't think outside of any boxes. No forward-thinking motherfuckers anymore. You all depend on a motherfucking rapper to tell you how to move. That shit is crazy, dog. You motherfuckers are ignorant, and ignorance is life-threatening. Holy shit. What has America come to? Unfucking believable. M. Angel, you wouldn't say that to my face, bitch boy. You would never say that to my face, you dumb fucking pussy. You know damn well you wouldn't say that to my face. You're getting pegged right now. You're getting pegged right now. That's when a bitch puts on a dildo and fucks you in the ass. If anybody didn't know what pegged was. That's what this M. Angel is doing. Take your bitch ass out of here. You motherfuckers love to chat about people's kids and shit, but will never say it to the man's face. God damn you motherfuckers, this pussy. It's the biggest pussification of America. Social media, texting, and tweeting out shit, knowing that you know you'll get your motherfucking teeth knocked out if you was in person. Knowing it. But you won't do it because you're scared pussies. And that's what's made America soft. You motherfuckers can text, tweet all you want about anything and have no repercussions. You can't get hit in the mouth anymore. We already know. We already know you motherfuckers is pussy. Come on, man. But listen, man, it is Talk That Talk Tuesday, T-Rich Tuesday, Doc Talk Tuesday, and the legend himself, the Miami Hurricane legend himself, the boxing analytical specialist, the football and sports dictionary, the co-host of the Whitlock Show, Fearless, and the 3 knockdown rule with Mario Lopez, our main source of research, data, and analytics. Although he is Asian, he is not female, and he's not Mina Kimes. His name is Steve Kim. Welcome him in. Steve?
Coach, can you hear me?
Yep, perfect.
How you doing?
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You're back home in LA, I assume?
Yeah, I got home Sunday morning. It was a very interesting trip to Atlanta. Saw a devastating loss. I can't say I'm necessarily all that surprised. I'll be honest with you. This team, since the Virginia Tech game, has not been sound defensively. And they're either slow or they're stupid on the back end. There's one guy that could play right now. It's O.J. Frederick. He'll be a freshman All-American. It's really too bad we don't have 3 more guys like him. And I've been saying this for about a month, and now everyone's joining my bandwagon. But hey, what do I know? This is the worst safety play I have ever seen at the University of Miami, and has nothing to do with having or needing Ed Reed, Sean Taylor, Benny Blades, or Darrell Williams. I get it. Those are all-time greats. But I've saw for years Miami win with guys who never played in the National Football League because they understood coverages and they had a football IQ. I'm talking guys like Charles Farms, Hurley Brown, James Lewis. Who else? Oh, Bobby Harden, Terrace Harris, Casey Greer, C.J. Richardson. Our guys don't know how to play football. They really don't. They're either too slow or they cannot think. And that jet motion sweep was killing us. And Lance Guidry, I think he's on the hot seat right now. I really do. And I'm at the game. I have really good seats. And there's this older black gentleman sitting right behind me. He had to have coached or played because he's literally calling stuff out. And he's like basically predicting how they're going to run the ball. And he's saying, oh, we're out leveraged there. We better watch it. And his disgust, now I start talking to him a little bit. And he just says, this is very basic stuff here they're doing. There's nothing new. I knew this game would be difficult if Haynes King played. It's unfortunate. One funny thing happened after the game, Coach. So where you go out, I watched all the Georgia Tech fans stream onto the field. I've never actually seen a field storming. Okay, so I took my time leaving with my buddies. So where we leave is where the Miami buses are. So a lot of the families, a lot of the staff members are there, pretty crowded. So I'm leaving with a couple of friends and we're just talking. All of a sudden, this gentleman comes in, starts walking towards me, and he has a number 32 jersey on. And he goes, hey, he goes, do you do a podcast a couple of times a week? And I go, yeah, well, a couple of them. Which one? I go, and he goes, the one with Coach JB, I watch every day. I go, really? He goes, yeah. And it's one of the players' parents, Popo Aguirre.
Really?
one of the Miami parents. And quite frankly, he was needed on Saturday because he's one of our quicker, faster linebackers. So to Mr. Aguirre out there who lives in Atlanta, shout out to you. Very nice to meet you. I wish we could have met under better circumstances.
Is that who you took a picture with?
No. So here's the other thing. The best part of the trip, obviously it wasn't the game. I had a dinner with the infamous, controversial Tommy Sotomayor. Content creator legend. We had an unbelievable dinner with a couple of my other friends who are Miami fans. We had an unbelievable time watching some of the games, but having a great conversation about the State of the Union, some of the games, and obviously the presidential election. And it was a memorable trip. Look, outside the game, look, in the games are the games. When people say, God, it must suck for the team to lose, I go, look, I don't go to these games thinking we're going to always win. That's not that like to me that I'm not guaranteeing a win by going. I go to go. I'm a fan. When people say, God, Steve, I'm so sorry. No one died here. No one died. It's not that serious to me. As much as I know about it, my life's not going to be all that impacted. What happened on Tuesday is a bigger deal to me than what happened on Saturday.
No doubt.
So, but
did he talk about all the the celebrities who were supposed to get paid by Kamala to endorse her, and then their checks bounced, and now they're unendorsing her? Have you heard about this? Morse, and all these famous people are like, I'm embarrassed by myself. I took money from Kamala, and the check bounced, and now I don't endorse her no more.
Well, actually, some of the checks were cashed. I think there's a $20 million deficit. But. Yeah, we had an unbelievable conversation.
Steve, they spent $1 billion, and how are you in debt?
It just goes to show you, if you have a terrible candidate, you could have an unlimited budget. She was never meant to win. I think she's one of the worst candidates ever. And America won. She lost, which is fine.
Yep.
But, all I'm going to say is this. I'm happy. I think America's a better place. It'll continue to be a better place. We have some real leadership. The adults and the competent people are back in charge. I mean, did you see that guy Thomas Go Homan, if you're illegal? Oh, what a serious human being that guy is. Wow.
Love it.
Wow. I'd like for him to be our defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
that guy will have us playing a textbook cover 2, cover 3, man under. Oh, it's great. By the way,
that's why we got
last thing about the Miami game. I want to say, I appreciate the contribution that Cam Ward has made to this program and his overall play. But he's got to get back to trying to win football games instead of the Heisman Trophy. He left plays on the field, and some of them on 4th down where Arroyo is wide open early on, and we're thinking, Cam, you either got to run the ball quick or get the ball out. There were some decisions made in that game coaching-wise where I don't think we helped the team. We come out of the second half. We're running the ball well. And then 4th and 1, we go under center, and I'm thinking that ball has to go to Martinez or Fletcher. We go with the play action rollout, and it didn't work. I said, that's when I got worried, Coach. I was like, that's a terrible call. Just run the damn ball. This is what we're good at here at times when we want to be.
That's what happened last year to him, it seems like.
And then we went for it 4 times on 4th down. I think we were 1 and 4. But we also passed up 3 field goals with an NFL kicker in Borregales, and that's 9 points. So it is what it is, and now Miami has to basically win every single game out. And, Coach, with that defense, I don't think anything is guaranteed right now.
Steve, I'm telling you right now, the borders are, you guys need a new D coordinator. We need a new governor. It might be time for the JB czar to take over California and run for governor. I don't know. I'm going to talk to Arnold Schwarzenegger tomorrow about it.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Steve, I want to give you some insight real fast on your start of this show. You mentioned the safeties are bad. Back in the day, the linebacker, the Mike Backer, the Ray Lewises, the London Fletchers, who's better than Ray Lewis, all those guys.
The fuck out of here.
They used to be in seriousness, though, they used to be the leader. They used to control the D-line. They used to move the front. They used to tell the secondary what to do. Now it seems like the safeties are now controlling the box and the secondary, and I don't know how that works. Now, here's why I say it. On the offense, quarterback's the captain. On the defense, now it seems like the safety's the captain. The common denominator between the two failing at an all-time high. The worst quarterback play I've ever seen, you just mentioned the safety plays bad. I've been hearing from other coaches, safety plays is worse than I've ever seen. How many Hail Marys have we had failed this year because of a safety or somebody missed up? Wonder why. Common denominator, Steve. 7 on 7. Yeah. There is no time clock. There's no pass rush, and there is no hitting. So when you just run by and have to do this, and you can run around, and quarterbacks can run around, I'm telling you, 7 on 7 is the common denominator. It has ruined the safety and the quarterback position. And I'm just telling you, this is why wide receivers are better skilled and horribly softer, much softer, because 7 on 7 is put on guardian hats, helmet condoms, and now you're seeing more and more guys use it on Sundays and Saturdays and Thursdays. It's crazy to me. I think those two go hand in hand.
Yeah, they do. And look, all Miami needs is an average defense. I'm not asking for the 85 Bears or the 2000 Ravens. Be average and be sound. We gave up a 3rd and 11, and I remember this play. It was in the first half, and I'm thinking, don't stunt. Teams have been killing our stunts. And the inside guy that was looping got caught up in the wash. Haynes King leaked out for 14 yards. Then we had a pivotal 3rd and 17 in the 4th quarter, and I'm thinking, okay, now this is our situation. We couldn't even play a coverage properly, and the guy was open by about 8 yards, and I'm saying, wait a minute. This is the stuff you work on at the beginning of spring ball.
Yeah.
This is the most poorly coordinated coached unit I've ever seen at Miami. Even during the probation days, when Miami would struggle, I said to myself, you know what? We don't have a lot of talent, but we're sound. We just got out-talented. I could live with that. But outside of O.J. Frederick, it's really too bad there's not a waiver wire or trades in college football yet. I get the sense that next year, at least 2, if not 3, portal guys will be brought in, and at least 1 or 2 true freshmen will be pressed into duty. This literally is the worst secondary I've seen in my time as a Miami Hurricane fan, by far.
Listen, before we move on, I have it's funny, but it's true. Mina Kimes, she is going around giving quarterback symposiums and clinics. I'm wondering if she should go over there and help your guys with the safety position, because she's a specialist on cover 2. She may be able to go over there and help you with cover 2 and teach your quarterback how to be better, because she said the NFL is the best the quarterback position's ever been. I tweeted out a few things at her. She's not very happy with me. Dan Orlowski texted her.
No.
Yeah, I told Dan, shut up. You need to tell her yourself instead of me having to tell your counterpart. And by the way, before we move on, Dan Orlowski, I got a bone to pick. You just threw another franchise under the bus and said it's not Caleb Williams' fault. It's the Chicago Bears' fault. When are we going to start blaming these overpaid, under-delivering ass quarterbacks? I want to know what is their fault. When is it their fault?
Coach, there was this crouching tiger who said Caleb Williams is not the number 1 pick. He said, I'm not a fan of his. Oh, that was me.
Oh, I thought it was Mina. My bad.
Yeah, well, here's the issue with the people that say, well, Mina knows more football than Coach JB. And I think many of you are trolling, but for those of you who are serious about that.
They're beta males, by the way. Yeah.
Okay. They probably voted for Kamala, but here's the other thing. But I want to ask a serious question. Do you think Mina can go out there and actually draw up any type of basic coverage or front? And then if it's a 3-4 under with a cover 2 shell, and if they run like a bandit or a robber technique, do you think Mina can actually go on the board and say, how would we adjust to it on the fly? Do you think she can actually explain quarters coverage against a trips to the wide side? Do you think, because I know I can't, but I admit it. I don't go around thinking that I'm Asian or I'm Norm Chow's nephew. I don't. Like, do you actually, the people that actually say that, I have a question that's serious as cancer. But Rakim wants to know, can she really draw up protections? What is the hot? What is the sight adjustment?
I just want to I want to know how she fucking can teach me how to take a drop under center and read the fucking sight adjust. I want to know how that is supposed to happen, but she can talk about quarterback play.
Right. I mean, does she even know what an inverted cover 2 is, by the way, a Jimmy Johnson creation? Does she understand pattern match zones?
No, I don't even want to dive into that. Like, I'm
can
keeping
she
it
actually, like, Orlovsky can at least somewhat draw it up and explain it. But I can get data and say, yeah, teams on 4th down are passing 81% of the time. Right, but that's reading data. That's not football. Football is played by human beings.
And let's be honest, Steve. Asians do data better than anyone.
Well, I mean, we're okay at it. We're okay.
Hey, Steve, I got to be honest. Have you ever seen her on the board?
No, because she can't get on the board.
That's my point. But people really think they listen to her and take her stuff like it's like the gospel. And I'm like, hold on. Have you ever seen her write a play up, draw a coverage? Have you ever seen her get on the marker board with Dan? She's never. They won't let her. It's like Ken Norton at SC. Pete Carroll said, no, you're too dumb to get on the board. You're never going to get on the board. Anyway,
come on.
My bad. Nobody knows that story. But anyway.
They do now. No snitching policy going on here. Jeez. No.
Well, anyway, you can't get on the board in front of recruits. Let's say that. So anyway, you can't have Mina Kimes on the board. You'll get exposed, Disney. But anyway, I would love to get on the board with you, Mina, anytime.
Like, just basic questions. Give me a cover 2 beater. Give me a cover 3 beater. I mean, look, it's one thing to know analytics. I get it. But analytics is like basically mathematical equations, and it's a fancy way of saying percentages.
And
like,
I don't think
I don't really use analytics. Like,
I don't think she can give you that.
Coach, to this day, there's only one stat that I really need for a pass offense: yards per attempt. That's it. That tells me everything.
Or score.
Right? Yeah, and that's it. All that other stuff is just mental masturbation. Really, it is.
Hey, Dick Vermeil once told our team one day, he's like, I don't give a shit about stats. I don't care about what you get on the stat line. I don't care what your quarterback. I don't care what Trent Green does. I don't care what Kurt Warner does. Bottom line is, how many points did you score? I'll never fire an OC if you score more points than the opponent. That was really as simple as that. I don't give a shit about 50% completion percentage. If you were 25 of 45, if you were 40 of 45, I don't care. I want to score because Jared Goff threw 5 picks in one, Steve.
He did. And again, this is where stats can be a little misleading. 3 of those, or I think 2 of them are deflected, really good plays by the Texans. The other one was kind of a Hail Mary at the end.
Hail Mary before the half. Yeah.
It's really, he made 2 bad passes.
But he also threw 2 that were dropped. He could have 7.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got to body Laporta on that red zone interception. And on that deep corner post to Jamison Williams, that ball has to be thrown high and away towards the sideline. That was probably his worst throw. But, Coach, those Detroit Lions, I kept telling people they're the team of the future. I think they're a damn good team, with or without Hutch. With Hutch, they may be the Super Bowl favorites.
But they got Zadarius Smith. He'll suit up next week. Yeah. They're going to get at least help him with that missing of Aiden Hutchinson. You mentioned that. I also got to say, on the same side of that, man, you watched that game last night, and you watched Stafford and an injury crew. Like the wideouts, just like you said last week, they're back, but are they back? And that wideout for the Rams didn't look good at all.
That's a bad loss.
It is.
The Rams are starting to build momentum, and you're facing another mediocre team at home. You got to put that win in the bank.
Yeah,
you got to put that win in the bank. That's a home game. You got to protect that house.
You do. All right, let's move on, because you and I lost a legend yesterday, and I say you and I because we grew up here, and I was a guy, and I've been around him a lot. I coached with his son, who's currently coaching junior college here in California. John Robinson passed away at 89 years old last night. SC legend, Shaun Salisbury, everybody's out there, from Ronnie Lott to Marcus Allen to Eric Dickerson. Everyone's paying their homage. He coached a lot of guys, man. Been around a long, long time. Shaun, his son, coached with me. I've been around John a long time. John recruited Nate Turner from me at Compton College. Nate was his best receiver, played with Jason Thomas, a Compton Dominguez quarterback legend, who went up to UNLV. They beat Arkansas in the Vegas Bowl when Arkansas had Boo Williams and a lot of good talent in the SEC. Vegas won that bowl game in Vegas. I was there at the game watching Nate Turner play. And we lost a legend in L.A. because he took the L.A. Rams to the brink of Super Bowls and just couldn't get over that Joe Montana, Steve Young 49er vault.
Yeah, John Robinson went to the NFC Championship game twice, and unfortunately had to face historically all-time great teams in the 85 Bears and the 89 Niners. And the job that he did is underrated because the Rams, under the ownership of Georgia Frontiere, it was like Major League. That lady, Rachel, who didn't want to spend money. She didn't really care if you won or lost.
Right. Yeah.
And
horrible.
Every other year, it seemed like Eric Dickerson was holding out. And I still remember the 87 holdout. It's one of the funniest stories. The Rams were in disarray. Dickerson got suspended for a game. Robinson said something that Dickerson didn't like. Dickerson said, "Oh, yeah? Well, you tell Robinson to run the 47 gap." And that was it. I think the day or two later, he got shipped out to Indianapolis. And quite frankly, I believe that was the beginning of the end for the Rams in L.A., even though they had some playoff years with Jim Everett in 88 and 89. And Eric Dickerson will tell you his career was never really quite the same. But John Robinson, I think, was a worthy heir to John McKay. I think led them to the 1978 National Championship. And USC was a football power throughout his run, was a brand name school. The Rams were bad when he took over, and he made them a consistent playoff team. And then he was also an advisor to Ed Orgeron at LSU during that national championship run. So he lived a long life, 89. When you live that long, it's a celebration of life. Hats off to the great John Robinson. He's my childhood Ram coach. I used to be a diehard Ram fan. I'm very saddened by this.
Me too, man. And then he went to Robert Del Pino and Russell White, and they did a good job. They beat the Eagles in the Fog Bowl game that a lot of people won't remember that out here in the chat.
And by the way, John Robinson, everyone thinks of him as like student body left, student body right, just going to run the ball. Starting in 1987, he knew he had to be a more balanced team to compete with that great Niner franchise. He hired Ernie Zampese.
Yep.
And it's a shame that we never got to see Jim Everett and Eric Dickerson play for more than just a few games.
I know.
Because that could have been something very, very special. I mean,
with
Greg Bell was
Flipper Anderson and Ellard.
Henry Ellard. And they had, but you know,
yeah, Flipper was upright.
Yeah, Flipper was part of that. Remember, though, the thing with Dickerson was they got a bunch of draft choices out of it. They did okay. It wasn't as good as Jimmy Johnson in Dallas, but the Jim Everett trade, I'll never forget, was in the middle of the 86 season. They got him from the Houston Oilers.
Yep.
And the Rams traded some good players. I think it was like Drew Hill, Kent Hill, William Fuller, who became a good defensive end and a draft choice. So basically the plan was, okay, we tried this with Jeff Kemp, Ferragamo, and Dieter Brock. Let's give Dickerson a real franchise quarterback. The problem was Dickerson kept signing bad contracts. Like, I don't know if you know this, Coach. Speaking of Ken Norton, do you know Dickerson actually hired Ken Norton Sr. as an agent?
His agent.
No, get Don King.
Yep, it was his agent. Yep.
Seriously, don't get the boxer, get the promoter. And that's, by the way, Don King actually was a NBA player agent because he got Benoit Benjamin, a huge deal with the Clippers. I'll never forget. He was on ABC News. Benoit Benjamin, the NBA. We're going to win championships now. Benoit Benjamin, only in America. I was like, why didn't Dickerson hire that guy? You know, anyway.
I don't know, but they had Flip Anderson and the fastest man in the NFL, Ron Brown, an LA product, and they were putting the ball up in the air for a while.
Yeah, Aaron Cox, Pete Holohan,
Cromwell. They had a good tight end.
Cromwell had retired by 86. That was his last year.
Not Cromwell. I'm talking about the tight end. What was the tight end?
Oh, tight end was Pete Holohan.
Oh, that's right, Holohan. Yeah, that's right.
Pete Holohan, third down, clutch receiver, and then you had Jackie Slater, Hall of Famer. You had Kevin Green. You had Jerry Gray, Leroy Irvin. Oh, I love that team. Doug Reed, Doug Smith, perennial Pro Bowler at center. Tom Newberry. We had a good team. The problem was the Niners were a machine, and they spent all the money. It wasn't fair. Hated it.
No doubt. All right, let's get into your top 5, bottom 5 of the weekend, especially. And then we got a little boxing to talk about because Haney's in the news for setting up a new fight. And then obviously the fight you probably won't watch this Friday between Paul and Tyson. But let's talk about your top 5, bottom 5 first. Let's bring it up.
So here we go. Top 5. And off the top, this is more of a career achievement award. Dylan Gabriel, I get it. He's been around since the Reagan administration, but he has procured great numbers. And I believe he has produced now the most amount of touchdowns at the FBS level. 179. He's been a very consistent, steady force. He's been the perfect engineer of that high-powered Oregon Duck offense, which is headed to the playoffs and is a real threat to the national title. I've just really enjoyed his consistency this season. He's been everything Oregon has wanted post-Bo Nix. Number 2, can we give big game Lane Kiffin some credit? Got in there and did the damn thing in the Grove. They out-hit, they outplayed, they out-everything Georgia.
Hey, he did. He's done something, Steve, that James Franklin hasn't done. Beat a big top 5 team.
Yes, he did. And that was a gutty, hard-nosed, tough physical victory in the rain. Jackson Dart made some key throws coming back from injury. And Georgia's offense, we'll get to that a little bit later. Number 3, I got to give the half-crouching Tiger, Marcus the Freeman, some credit. We all buried him after Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois. That team has steadily gotten better. And for better or worse, I know people are going to hate it, the Domers look like they're going to be, yes, say it with me in Jim Moore style, playoffs? Talking playoffs? Yeah, I'm not kidding you. Notre Dame's going to be in the playoffs. Good job by Marcus Freeman. Then Travis Hunter, again, continues to do great things. I heard, forgot who said it, Joel Klatt said it. If you include the penalty plays, which don't count as official plays, he played 170 snaps. That's amazing. And he's still a productive guy, makes big plays all over. He is right in the thick of the Heisman race. I don't think what we're seeing from him will ever be done again. And the number 5, Tennessee's defense is the most overlooked group in the nation. The people don't talk about them enough, how good they are at all 3 levels. Do you know they have not given up, Coach, more than 18 points in a game the whole season? If Nico Iamaleava can just be decent and hit a few throws, this team can go very deep into the playoffs. But again, they have not given up more than 18 points a game. This is a dominant, elite unit with NFL guys all over the place, led by James Pierce and Omar Norman Lott. Very big
hey, a really good friend of mine is a big reason for it. Mike Eckler, He's I've known him for about 30 years. Great dude, man. He's a backer coach there, and that defense and those linebackers are going to be coached up. X been around a lot of places.
Yeah.
Alabama, you name it.
Look what they did to Alabama, who just absolutely destroyed LSU. I'm just telling you that Tennessee defense is national championship caliber. Now, bottom five. Hate to do this. It hurts me more than it hurts you, but I had to watch this thing live. The Miami defense. Here's the thing that's really disappointing.
They're the worst of the worst, is what you're telling me right now.
Yeah. I mean, look, the defensive line has been disappointing. It has not been as good as I hoped or thought. The defensive backs have been even worse than I thought they would be. Cam Kitchens, James Williams have really been missed. In fact, the Corey Couch, our nickelback, and Jaden Davis, two guys that made NFL camps. I don't know if they made rosters. They weren't even drafted. I take them right now in a heartbeat. I'm just saying, outside of O.J. Frederick, there's nobody in that secondary that I would say, okay, carrying on to next year, I'd like to have you on this squad. I don't see a lot of football IQ either. It's one thing to be slow, but when you're slow and not smart with the low football IQ, that's a deadly combination. And look, I'll be honest, the offense only scored 23 points. But the problem is when you play Georgia Tech, coach, with the style of play, you may only get 9 to 10 possessions. They shorten the game. And when you give up over 250 yards of rushing to a one-arm quarterback and they're not throwing the ball, that's bad defense, even if you, quote, unquote, only give up 28 points. And they've been bad basically outside the Florida State game for about a month and a half. Now, the other one, LSU. Wow. You guys died in Death Valley. In fact, you guys showed no life. Jalen Milroe just ran for another 80 yards on you guys. Bad defense. And they were hoping that Blake Baker, the new coordinator, would be able to clean it up. But Glenn Dorsey ain't walking through that door. Tyrann Mathieu ain't walking through that door. And they're going to have to overhaul that whole roster on that side of the ball, much the way Miami does. But to lose the way you did on national TV primetime, absolutely embarrassing. And I think Notre Dame fans were kind of smiling because they're thinking, you know what? We're glad we have this other guy instead of that red-ass Kelly. Number 3, Coach, Mike Norvell has thrown a couple of his assistants under the bus. And I've always said when you do that, your job is next. What do you think about what Norvell did?
This is what they have to do. The agents and these collectives and these other people now are so involved that they tell them if you want to have any shot of saving your job, you have to fire X, Y, and Z. We see it year in and year out. This has been happening for years and years, Steve. Nowadays, it's just more prominent, I think, because of the money involved. So, but what he said, though, is what throws me off. I just don't. You can't do that, but I get it. Usually they're friends, Steve. Usually they hire their friends.
Not anymore.
Exactly. Usually they hire their friends, Steve. And what they do is when they fire their friends, they actually pay them more money, and they become friends later. And then they say, "Hey, when I'm out of here, I'll get a new job. You're back with me." But but I got to fire you right now. You know, it's part of the business. All the assistants know that, but you don't call them out and all that shit. I think there's something going on there, man. There's a bad situation and is brewing right there. And what I'm hearing, rumors are, another JUCO product, of course, a guy I know, the offensive coordinator, a good friend of mine over at UNLV, has been contacted. And
that's a rising young talent.
But here's the thing. Don't take that Florida State job as the OC right now.
Well, can I just tell you something? This reminds me a lot of what happened at Miami when they got blown out in the Peach Bowl, 40-3. End of the 2005 season, and that's when I knew, Coker, you're out of here. But to save his own butt, he got rid of 2 legends. The great Arthur Francis Kehoe, and one of my favorite guys, and one of the great football coaches we've ever had, Don Solinger.
Hey, I got an Art Kehoe story, so I've known Art a long time. Art walked into the AFCA coaching convention to speak about O-line play. He gets up on the fucking podium. There's about 2,000 people in there to listen to O-line play. He's a fiery guy. He's fucking wants to go at you. He's in there. I've known him forever through recruiting. So I'm in the front talking to him, bullshitting with him before he goes on stage. He goes, JB, watch this shit. And he goes and gets his bag out, and it's nothing but Miami shit. And he just starts fucking throwing it all over the fucking place at coaches. He goes, you guys want some Miami gear? And guys are taking shit. He's like, well, I was just fired from Miami. I'm now going to Ole Miss. And he's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be in Mississippi. I've never even fucking been to Mississippi.
Yeah.
That's a true story right there.
When he fired those two icons to save his own butt because of his soft, limp-wristed, mealy-mouthed leadership,
Yeah.
I lost all respect for him, and he got fired the next year.
Yeah.
Don Solinger, to me, is one of the great football men of all time, Dade County legend. And I felt so bad because if it was done his way, I think that program would have been okay. Every time I talk to Don Solinger, I learned something about the game of football. In fact, I saw him about a month ago. I had a great lunch with him. Also, number 5, officials in the BYU-Utah game. I'm sorry that I didn't like that call, Coach.
Hey, did you hear what Weddle had to say? Did you hear what Weddle said yesterday, though? He said it was a hold, though. I mean, Weddle said it about his own team. I mean, I don't know. I mean, hey. I get it. I didn't get to see it, Steve. I didn't get to see your Miami team. I was on the water, and I kept getting people blowing me up on Twitter like, check on Steve, make sure he doesn't jump in the water with the anchor attached to his ankle. And I'm like,
why would I do that? Hey, guys,
I'm like, Steve's in Atlanta, and Steve don't care like that. He's gonna eat ribs next weekend at Palooza.
Guys, don't take this the wrong way. Don't ever take my incredibly great knowledge and intelligence for taking this out of perspective.
No,
my life is good. Probably better than yours. The game is not going to impact me that much. Trust me.
You get to go to the game.
I mean, I'm disappointed, and I felt bad for some of the players. When I saw Xavier Restrepo after the game, where the kids were rushing on, and I saw him hug his mom, I felt bad for that guy because we need 50 more guys like him.
Yeah,
we still don't have enough guys like him, but it is what it is. I had a great time,
especially knowing, see, especially it was like the program. And Latimer knew that his career was over. Knew his career was over.
He'll play in the pros, you asshole. Let me get out with that bullshit. But anyway, yeah, by the way, okay, before I get out of here, the boxing. On Friday, I'll watch it because I have to. Bruce Carrington's going to be on the YouTube portion of the Netflix card. Love Shoo. I'm glad he's getting the activity. I don't know what to expect. I hope a fight breaks out. I hope someone punches each other. And then Saturday at your house, I'll have my laptop onto the Zone to watch the Golden Boy card. That's it.
Oh, here we got Shaun King real quick. Shaun, you're going to last the last hour with me. Okay, so Haney is going to fight who, Steve?
I don't know. I hear a lot of things. I mean,
is that
the word on the street is Teofimo Lopez, but
that's why I seen it.
I believe
they
that when I see
it. They posted it this morning.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Well,
I mean, whatever. Look, my attitude to boxing is this: when you've made the fight, I'll watch it and I'll give you the greatest analysis ever, and then pay me. The days of me really caring about it, I don't give a shit, guys.
Well, speak on this. What'd you think of Keyshawn Davis this past?
I thought he made a real statement. I thought he was a very focused guy. He was an absolute sniper, facing a guy that tried to cheat, tried to leverage the rules and everything else against him. He looked like a guy that's ready to fight for a world title sooner rather than later. I thought he looked much better than Floyd Schofield did 2 weeks before. Let's put it that way.
I agree. And it's interesting because some kind of way Frank Martin jumped Keyshawn Davis on the prospect list to fight Tank. Do we get Tank?
Well, that had to do with the fact Frank Martin's with PBC.
Right, I know the
Top
politics
rank, so it's
involved.
politics. That's why that's why I don't take boxing seriously.
All right.
It's like when I tell all athletes, go play your game so I can talk about it because I need to make some money here. Like, I don't get upset by this. The world is a stage, and I am a critic.
Hey, if Miami, if the Dolphins would have lost last night, Steve, that would have been the first time in history that all 12 Miami football playing schools or NFL pro teams lost. They were 0-11.
Yeah, it was not a great week, but Miami was the only team that was a real big favorite. And that's one thing about Cristobal that I feel bad for. Is like, Mario, your job this year was to win every game you're supposed to. That's a game you're supposed to win.
Do they win the ACC title game?
I don't think so. That defense is so bad, Shaun. And by the way, every time I've seen Cam Ward, I'm not as impressed by I'm like, he's good. But there's things I'm thinking, geez, guys, brother, you don't hit the routine play enough. Even that last play where he fumbled, I'm like, it was second down, Cam. Check the ball down or get rid of it. It's 4-down territory.
Hey, DMV Living is in there asking you. He wants to know before you leave about Boot Ennis. So make sure you address
Thought
that.
he looked a little vulnerable. I think the inactivity has stunted his development. I think he needs a really good big fight that's going to motivate him. I think the weight cut is starting to impact his legs a little bit. I think Boots is a major league marquee talent, but this particular weekend, he did not look like what I would call an elite pound-for-pound fighter the way Bam Rodriguez. Now, Bam Rodriguez, there's a special fighter. Wow. What a great performance, again, by Bam.
Hey,
I agree.
And, Steve, as you walk out the door today, heading over to Whitlock, let me ask you, your Miami team, defense we talked about, is this SMU's conference to lose right now?
It could be, but look, they're vulnerable too because they're not that big yet. But
a lot of Miami guys, huh? A lot of Miami transfers.
Yeah, about 9 or 10, and including their most impressive offensive threat, Brashard Smith, who we never gave the ball to last year, has turned into an NFL prospect because he can play running back, slot receiver, and he can return kicks. He has increased his value to the NFL. And Kevin Jennings, with his athleticism, he will give Miami fits because they do not wall off in terms of containment. We are a very undisciplined unit, and this is where Cristobal has to call Lance Guidry and say, Lance, I just want you to know one thing. I really like you, but we're not married. Your job's literally on the line the last 3 games. We get 1 year of Cam Ward because next year we're going to have to overhaul this whole thing again. Don't waste it for us. That's the business. That is the business of college football.
At Syracuse is going to be tricky, too.
Yes, because you know why? Because they're a pretty decent offense.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that I don't like about this. Every time I see Miami have a game, I thought this is a bad offense. They certainly have a lot of good days against Miami. Duke had a good day. So they're look, Miami, when they break down for practice, right, and everyone gets their hands in, this is what Lance Guidry needs to do. All right, defense, come in here now. All right, on 3. Be average. Be average. And say, God, hope we can be average. Just be average.
Hey,
I'm a realist, guys. That's the truth.
Really, though, it's like quarterback play, what Shaun talks about. You got to make layups. Defensively, you got to make layups, too. Tackle the ball in front of you. Don't allow extra yards.
But I'm going to leave you guys with this. The good news is Miami's only a couple of defensive backs from being good away. Antrell Roll and Sean Taylor and Ryan McNeil. That's all we need. Just those 3 guys. And then we're good. We're good.
Hey, you could be an LSU fan.
Man, they're not happy with Brian Kelly.
Is the worst tackling team I've seen in the history of college football. There's not one situation, JB, where a tackler has a chance to stop an offensive player and he doesn't gain more yards after contact.
You had to know early on in that game, Shaun, they were in Jalen Milrose as a running back mode. You could just tell, like, okay, guys, you know what they're doing. They're not dropping back. And that's what the board needs to do the rest of the year. Tell Jalen, you're going to be a running back, basically. We're not making you into a white quarterback. You're not A.J. McCarron, bro. Okay, I don't care about your NFL draft stock. It's not my business. That's the offense they need to run every week because Milroe is literally the fastest guy on that field outside of Ryan Williams every time the ball snaps.
I root for the demise of LSU every year, not only because of Ryan Clark, and I just don't like that cat, but because of they fired Ed Ogeron the way they did, and they're every day. They should have never let him go, Shaun. They should have never let him go.
Hey, guys, I got to get going. Shaun,
I'll talk to you, Keith. All right, Steve. I appreciate you. All right, Shaun, right now, if I ask you, the coach of the year in college football, and not named Cignetti, who is it?
Right now. Now, they still got to play they got to play the string out because the season isn't over. But right now, I would vote for Deion Sanders.
Really?
Now they gotta win out, but I vote for Deion just because he inherited trash heap. There was nothing positive about the Colorado Buffalo football program when he got there. If they end up in the Big 12 title game, that's why I say they got to play the season out, JB, because things could change. Like they could drop one of these last games, and I change my narrative. But if they end up in the Big 12 title game, then he's got to be because Dan Lanning and Oregon are supposed to be this good.
No, I don't want to hear that. I don't think so.
No. They were 1 through 3 in every preseason poll.
All right, so here's the thing.
Expectations matter.
Oregon wasn't supposed to beat Ohio State.
No, they were 1, 2, and 3 in every preseason poll, JB.
Oregon wasn't supposed to have this schedule, though, and play this schedule versus what Deion's schedule has been. I'm just telling you. Now, real quick update. Shaun's filling in for Smitty for a couple days. I didn't expect Smitty to be on the show this morning. But apparently, Smitty's back here as Shaun. Shaun King is Halloween's over. Shaun King was Smitty.
Look at this bullshit.
And so let me make sure I'm clear here. So Deion, who's played an FCS school, no other schools of over 500, and he's the coach of the year. I gotta listen. I said he would be a candidate if they go 8-2, 9-2, whatever. I think he's done a good job, no question. But I cannot give it to him based on the scenarios that's happened throughout the season. Things change, as you just said. Now, let me ask you, I just want to throw some names out there. Freeman is a tough one for me because he lost to Northern Illinois. I get that he's balling right now. Freeman's done a good job rebounding from that loss to Northern Illinois. He could be in the conversation.
I'm going to respond to each guy. You can't criticize Deion's schedule and don't criticize Freeman's. And they have no control over Notre Dame's schedule being cupcakes off as well.
And that's why I'm going through process of elimination. I'm just going through these names. I'm a
Marcus Freeman guy. I like Freeman. Shout out to Marcus.
That's why I said I can't do it because they lost to Northern Illinois. But he's done a great job, just like Deion. Mm-hmm. All right. Signity, we know, is probably leading the pack.
Yeah, he deserves it.
We got a guy in Pittsburgh.
You excluded him.
I excluded him. Yeah. But that's why I said he's probably leading the pack as far as the coach of the year. Okay, Narduzzi done a good job in Pitt. They lost the game
2 in a row.
Two in a row.
He's out. In a row. Yeah, he's out.
So process of elimination, he's out. Done a good job.
And shout out to Cade Bell, Lindsey Lamar, all the guys down there on offense. But they've been getting lucky since the damn first game of the season.
My guy at SMU, is he now in the conversation?
He's in the running. He's another one. If they make the ACC title game, I mean, he's in the conversation for Coach of the Year, especially after the way they started the year. Because they look like a 500 team in that opener against Nevada.
All right. Kalani Sitake, good friend of mine. Does he have to win out to get it?
Yeah, just because they've been lucky. They've basically been Miami. Mario Cristobal wasn't in the race for Coach of the Year before they lost to Georgia.
Colorado won a fucking Hail Mary. What do you mean?
Still, BYU might be luckier than Miami. The way they
Colorado beat Baylor on a Hail Mary. What do you mean they're lucky? All right. Does my man, a good friend of mine, Kenny Dillingham, is he in the conversation at Arizona State?
Nah, because the quarterback got hurt, and it kind of messed up the motion they had going. If the quarterback stay healthy, I think they might be the best team.
But still, but do we judge the coach of the year based on what they end up doing or what he's done? He inherited maybe let's be honest.
They were better. Their program was better than Colorado's. I
don't know if I agree because of what was left. Look what left.
Don't do that, JB. Don't do that, JB.
Sanction heavy. Look what they had. Dillingham, look what he's inherited. I don't know a lot of people know what AP and them have done. I don't know a lot of people know what Edwards did over there. I know some inside. You know and I know. That's a tough sell to go in there and
still had more talent on campus than Colorado did.
He did the same thing Deion did. He dropped 80 guys and lost them and went and got new ones. So
I'm not knocking Dillingham. And I think if his quarterback stays healthy the whole year, they probably got a chance to be in the Big 12 title game.
What's their record right now? How many games they won? 7 or 8?
I think they got 3 losses, I think. Hold on, let me look it up right quick. This is what Bailey's supposed to fill in right quick and have an answer. Damn it.
Bailey's supposed to be like fucking. Hey,
they're 7-2.
They just won though. They didn't lose.
They were 7-2.
Yeah, 7-2.
Their
losses that's a hell of a job at Arizona State.
Their losses are to Texas Tech and Cincinnati.
All right, what about Coach Monken's brother, Jeff Monken, and Army?
Now, if they run the table, because they got Notre Dame and Navy, I think, to close out the year. Yeah, I wouldn't argue with anybody that turned the ballot in and had him as the coach of the year.
Okay. Mario Cristobal just ended his
run. They're going to lose in the AAC title game, though, to Tulane.
Mario ruined his run. He's out.
He couldn't win it. He wasn't gonna win it if they went undefeated.
Now let's talk about.
They don't look like a well-coached team.
Let's talk about the winners, the ones that actually get to go home with the prom queen, and then the other ones that we're talking about are the ones actually jacking each other off. Let's just be honest. Dan Lanning, why is he not in your consideration at Oregon? I get it. He has to win the one, but he's beat the number 2 team in the nation right now already head-to-head. He's played a much better schedule than a lot of these coaches we're discussing. Why don't we award winners more? I just want to know. Not you. I just want to know why a lot of us just skip over guys that actually win. I don't know.
I just feel like when you say win, what has he won? He didn't win the Pac-12 last year. That was Washington. He's in the first year of the Big Ten. He hadn't won the Big Ten yet. I mean, maybe at the end of this, if they're undefeated, they win the Big Ten championship, you could revisit it based on what. But also, this is a team that was top 3 in every preseason poll. So sometimes I think if you're not a repeat winner and you have high expectations, people just aren't surprised by your success. They expected it.
You know what's funny? D. Jones and these guys in the chat. This is their fight. This is their argument. Who didn't expect Oregon to be good?
They're making a valid point.
Oh, no, it's not. Let me throw something back at you to drop the mic. Did not every single one of you fanboys in here, which I call prime sexuals, say that Colorado was a playoff team, motherfucker? Shut the hell up. Who didn't expect Colorado to be good? D. Jones. Your ass has said the same thing about Colorado. Colorado's going to win the table, blah, blah, blah. So if your expectation of Colorado was so high, how is he in the coach of the year and not Dan Lanning? You hypocritical motherfuckers. Anyway, Shaun King.
Can I back up the chat for a second? Can I defend the chat?
Go ahead.
Oregon was top 3 in every preseason poll. Colorado wasn't top 25 in any. And you got to give Deion credit for where he's gotten Colorado in a year and a half. Just the fact that they look like one of the top 10 defensive lines in college football, hat tip to Damon Lewis and Warren Sapp. I mean, the improvement of that group up front, man, that's a salty group. And because of that, I think the team's better and more of a complete team. So I think the only thing that I think would expose Colorado is playing top-level quarterbacks, because I don't think they're great on the back end. But I think they've truly benefited from a weak group of quarterbacks, from a opposition standpoint. They can't control that. If Deion gets them in the Big 12 title game, he is in consideration for Coach of the Year, and deservedly so.
Amongst the P4 teams, is Colorado not in the worst conference in the country?
No. You can't unequivocally say that, because the ACC is not that good either.
But they got 4 teams in there that would run the table.
And they're a bunch of mid. I don't trust Clemson to win the Big 12. I don't trust Miami to win the Big 12. And I mean, who else are we talking about?
None of those guys have Clemson's O or D line in that conference. None of them. None of them.
That didn't help Clemson versus Louisville. They got ran out the damn stadium.
Georgia Tech would dominate that conference.
Bullshit.
Anyway, that conference is horrible. BYU is probably, like you said, been lucky a few times. I think BYU and Shador
probably.
I think BYU and Shador, I don't know his name, so I apologize ahead of time for all you fuckboys in the chat. The BYU quarterback and Shador are the 2 best QBs in the conference by far, and I don't think this guy's getting enough love at BYU for what he does. But that's just me.
So BYU has a notoriety problem because
they got a Jewish leading a bunch of Mormons.
Right. Nobody on the East Coast has seen BYU play.
No. And no voters have either.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
By the time a 10 p.m. kick starts on the East Coast, you are dead tired of college football at that point. And you got NFL the following day. The East Coast not watching BYU play.
No doubt. All right, let's do my list real quick. We got a top 5 and bottom 5 list for the NFL. Top of the world, bottom of the barrel, NFL list. I want you to critique it, and we'll go from there with it. My top 5 performances of the NFL. This is not my power ranking, Shaun. This is just my performances of this past Sunday and Monday. I got the Patriots at 5. They go in and shock the Bears at home. The Bears were 4-0, just giving everybody some context. So you don't think it's fucking Mina Kimes up here just yapping. This is the Patriots who were dogs on the road versus a 4-0 at-home Chicago Bears team who you guys were all salivating over the quarterback, and I said the Patriots were going to beat them. The Patriots got it done. Shout out to Mayo and a horrible offense in New England, and as they go out and beat the Bears. The Bills just continue to win games, Shaun, and they're going to show everybody if they're a serious contender this weekend as they head on and play the Chiefs Queendom. Number 3, the Cardinals. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals have figured it out. I agree with you. Kyler Murray is as inconsistent as it gets, but, man, shout out to their head coach for going in there and just winning. They're winning games, man. The Steelers and Russell Wilson, the one that Mina Kimes said would make them a not a playoff team, has gone in there and absolutely proved Mina Kimes wrong as the Steelers continue to win games. Now, the Washington Commanders gave them that game, in my opinion, but that is what happened. The Steelers won the game. And then the Lions, man, 5 picks and win the game. If you flip it, Shaun, Burrow threw 5 touchdowns and lost the game. Let's just be honest. This guy threw 5 picks and won the game. Sometimes that matters. But I also know the 5 picks were the reason Sean McVay traded him for Matthew Stafford. So let's just be honest. That's my top 5, Shaun. Go ahead and critique that. Break it down. What do you want to put in there before we move to the bottom?
I don't really have a problem with anything on your list. As I'm going back over the results from this past, I don't really have a problem with anything on your list. I think it's interesting that Harbaugh and the Chargers are 6-3 and not really a topic of any conversation. They have arguably the best defense in the National Football League.
Best defense.
I've given up 20 points once this year.
Yeah. They're on the cusp. Here's who I have on the cusp, and I just want to know if you would throw any one of these teams in there. I got the Commanders on the cusp. This is power ranking wise. This was not power ranking.
This was last week's performance.
Yeah, this is last week's performance. But in my power ranking, when I do that tomorrow, I just think that the Redskins or the Commanders, the Ravens are probably back in there, but the Commanders, the Vikings, as they've won 2 in a row again after losing 2 in a row, I think they're back to. They're going to get to figure out the winning way. The Texans are out of that top 8-ish right now. But I think the Commanders are going to be in the mix, and I also think the Chargers are in the mix in that top 5 power rankings. But they lost the games that they got to win, though. The Arizona game gives me a sour taste in my mouth still. With that, they should be 7-2 right now. And by the way, he's already eclipsed their win total from last year in LA. So, and by the way, the Michigan Wolverines are 5-5. They hadn't lost 5 games in over 5 years with Harbaugh. So
yeah, I probably would put Chargers on there and take Patriots off. I mean, I thought
as top performers.
Yeah, I just thought that's a 50-50 game. Beating the Bears is nothing.
Yeah,
I'm still banned on the radio in Chicago because I said before the season they're a 7-win team.
But here's the thing, though. The Titans, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of my thing. The Titans, to me, Hey, so Shaun's co-hosting with us, and it is one of those days. It is T-Rich Tuesday. Bama legend, Trent Richardson. He's our AJ Hawk to McAfee. That's what he is. He is just a more real, down to earth, funny as hell. You don't even know it. He don't know he's trying to be funny. The pride and joy of Hoover High School right now, out there in Alabama. Our main man, Bama legend, Trent Richardson. Welcome.
Yeah. I'm in my mode, ready to transform you in the I hate a storm, Hail Marys, I make it pour. Good, I ain't lying, you little giants, we been defiant. West coast, speed the balls, breaking down the walls. We all in once the coin is off. Back to plan the action, never acting. We need to scramble to get traction, we make it happen. When we go to book, we get it cracking. When the stack comes to rain, give us a rap. We're taking naps.
T-Rich,
What's going on, family? What's going on? Big Dog Shaun, what's going on?
What's up, Big Dog?
Man, I'm trying to get like you when I get older, man. That's it.
I fired Smitty for Shaun. Shaun came in with the same takes that Smitty got, talking about Deion, the fucking coach of the year and shit. I'm like, I thought I got but we got Shaun.
Hey, JB, we got to correct something. Trent is a Florida boy. He's from Pensacola, Florida. You said Hoover.
No. He's coaching there right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm coaching her right now. That's what he meant. Yeah.
Come on, Shaun. See, Shaun doing some Smitty shit. Don't want to investigate. He don't want to research nothing. He
Florida
don't want
to. Florida boys, we the cream of the crop, man. I got to make sure the public knows.
I know that's right.
Hey,
yes,
I hear you. Hey, so T. Rich, we did our top 5 and bottom 5 performances of the NFL weekend. We're on our bottom 5 real quick. You're just catching up. Pull it up, Bailey. Here's our bottom 5 real quick. I want to go through the bottom 5. This is just performances, not our power rankings. I got the Commanders losing the way they did, T. Rich, losing the way they did, Shaun. This is the undisciplined nature of today's athlete, in my opinion. Like, it's 4th and 1. You're backed up across the other side of the 50. You know you're going to punt the football on defense. Just hold your water. We teach that in Youth Pop Warner. Hold your water, get the punt return, and you're in good position to kick a field goal, win the game. You're down 1. That's how the Steelers won the game. A guy jumps off sides, undisciplined. Commanders, you're in my bottom 5. The Giants, it's just time to move on from everybody. And I'm over it. I can admit when I'm wrong. It is what it is. The Falcons, you can't lose to the Saints, dog. You can't lose to the Saints in that manner. They just were a no-show. The Jets, man, just stick a fork in them. Can we just end the Jets and the Cowboys? The Jets and the Cowboys, the last 2 right here. Can we put a fork in these 2 organizations? You gotta fire sell both organizations. T. Rich, Shaun, have at it. Do you have anybody you want to put in there over these guys?
I think you hit it right on the head.
All I would say is if you're a coach and you got a LinkedIn page, update it. Because it looks like going to be a lot of jobs available at the end of the season. Good God.
But what's going to be crazy, though, bro, they ain't going to do nothing but switch position.
You're right, switch teams.
Whoever was there, they're going to get the next one. That was it.
Hey, good old boy network.
Crazy.
Good old boy network. That's what it is.
And it's going to keep rotating, man. It's crazy, man.
Hey. I would say this. I would probably knock the Cowboys down a little bit just because Dak was out. So my expectation for them wasn't high. I would definitely.
I picked them to win with Cooper Rush. I was like, that's my one time I'm gonna try. I gotta try it one time.
Yeah, you was tripping.
You tripping.
I would elevate the Jets to 1 because the Jets were coming off a win. You couldn't tell the Jets when they got on that plane to fly to Phoenix, Arizona, that they weren't going out there and handle business and start this miraculous comeback run. I can imagine being in that building right now. Ain't nobody talking to nobody. Everybody got their hoodie on. It's a somber environment inside the Jets facility this week.
Hey, being a Florida boy, as you both are, Florida boys is in the building. I got to ask you, you guys were 0-11 going into the Monday night game last night. I mean, everybody from FAMU to the damn Buck to everybody. I mean, the Youth Pop Warner teams, law, everybody. Miami Heat, the Miami Heat, Orlando Magic laws, like – the Miami Dolphins saved y'all state yesterday by beating the Rams, and you would have been the first state in the history of sports. I'm no lie. I don't know if you knew this. The history of sports to lose every professional and college football playing game. You were 0-11 going into last night, and the Dolphins and Tua saved y'all. Y'all went 1-12.
I blame UCF. Because they had the game won, and they just completely melted down. I blame the Bucks too. The Bucks had 1st and 10. First and goal inside the 10, under a minute left in the game, down 3. They found a way to lose the game outright in regulation. That is unbelievable.
What about Miami?
Hey man, all hail to Tua, man. Listen.
Now he talking about Hurricanes. He talking about Hurricanes. He trying to set you up.
Man, you ain't finna have my boy come in here and cuss me out, man. Come on, man. I can see him now.
We felt like that was coming though, Trent. We didn't know who the opponent was gonna be. But you can go all the way back to the Virginia Tech game, which was probably 6-7 weeks ago, and they've been playing with fire every week.
Yeah, Cal.
So you knew at some point they were gonna run out of good favor.
So what you think it was though? Like, is it the offense don't get going quick enough, or the defense ain't shutting down nobody? Like, and I was looking at my partner Damien, you know, stuff, and he was saying earlier, man, like, when have you noticed a team that has been a championship team that has a weak ass defense like that?
No way. You played on a national title team at Alabama, right?
Yes,
I was on an undefeated team at Tulane. JB's coached a national champion team at Independence. Those teams have attention to detail and elite discipline. Miami plays with neither. They get by on pure talent. Like, even their offensive explosive plays are Cam Ward making 3 people miss, throwing back across Restrepo. You know, nothing that they do to me is sustainable. And hey, man, you know what defense is about, man? Alignment, effort, tackling.
I gotta ask you both though. Isn't this the era of 7-on-7? T. Rich has a son that plays it. Then he goes in the youth in the fall. But then I'm sure everybody in the country, in the warm states, at least Texas, Florida, and California, they put the ball out at Christmas Day. And they got huge 7-on-7 tournaments in Vegas. They got huge pylon. All these 7-on. My girl runs that pylon. They got all kinds of shit going on. Is it not the demise of the QB and the back row secondary in the country that's gotten as worse as I've ever seen it? The captain on defense, the safety, and the captain on offense, the quarterback, thrive in 7-on-7, and they're horrible in padded football games right now. I'm just telling you, I think there's a correlation.
Yeah, it's basically, man, that's it. I seen it going this route, but I didn't know it was gonna get this bad. Like, I've been saying this for the longest, bro. By the time my son, if they make it that far good in the NFL, it's gonna be a female playing in the NFL. I'm not talking about kicking. I'm talking about playing. And that's nothing against females, but listen, some stuff are for men. Because ain't nowhere in the world I'm fit to let a female tackle me. I just can't. You know what I'm saying? And that's no disrespect, but I'm just saying. It's just one of those things where, like, we're going into a different route when it comes to football. Like, we're like, man, TJ them had a championship game this week, bro. I mean,
do you T-Red, seriously, if Mina Kimes was coming up to tackle you, are you taking it nice on her?
Listen, she got her grown ass out here like a man. This is the one time
you gonna really dip on Mina Kimes.
I'm gonna have to treat her like she's her man. I got a job. I got a profession.
Hey, Trent, the funny thing is, Mina really feel like she could tackle JB right now, though, in a one-on-one situation. She probably would be up for that challenge. I told JB she gonna put her hands on him when she sees him.
Hey, Mina Kimes don't see eye to eye. But listen, all right, I'm glad you said that. So I think you're right. There's going to be a woman playing, but there's also going to be several women head coaches.
Oh yeah, I definitely think that's coming along. And I think for real, basketball, NBA might get one first.
Oh yeah, and I don't have no problem with NBA.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with the NBA. Like, I really don't.
They play the same sport, right? The women play the 5-on-5, 2-3 zone, 3-2 zone, man, motion. I get it. I don't agree with it. I don't think a woman can lead men in any particular sport, but I think women can at least coach basketball much easier than football. I just think.
Yeah, but I definitely think it's coming for the NFL. And
screenshot Shaun King's face the whole time we're talking about the women.
Yeah, but I don't see it not happening, right? Like, that's the next best thing for the NFL, for college football, right? That's the next best thing, and they just it's gonna be tough for them, though. I'll tell you that, man, because there's not gonna be no respect around it.
That's
for a long time. And people just, we're gonna have to get on board. You know, it's gonna be one of those things that's gonna be the new, it's gonna be new, the new thing, man. But we're gonna have to prepare for it.
as much as things change, they stay the same. If you look at who's winning the national title in college, it's the teams that play old school football: Michigan, Georgia, Bama. Like those guys that throw the ball all around that are unsound, fundamentally don't have balance offensively. When you play those elite teams, you can't do that, and they end up losing. So, I mean, at least that's still happening. We hadn't had one of these run and shoot type systems actually win anything in college as of yet.
Yeah, it's been a long time that we even thought about like just the run and shoot, system. I mean, last time I really thought about, somebody being able to win it was like Oregon back in the day when I was playing.
Right.
Because they had like some crazy stuff Chip Kelly was doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was gonna be hard for them because they're gonna have to fight against us, Alabama at the same time. It's gonna be hard. Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
Imagine what I'm saying though. You reading through what I'm saying though?
Yeah, I'm reading. That's what I get.
Hut. You imagine the center who maybe the center's that person, and she got.
Hey Trent, man, when you come on here, man, you can't let JB get you canceled, man. JB lives in his own world over there. He's insulated from. He don't work for nobody. He got his own studio in his own house.
I'm just saying.
He got a 140-pound untrained pit bull running around the house. You can't let him go promote. Hey, you got to be careful.
Shaun,
so listen, this is Smitty 2.0 though. That's Smitty 2.0. That's the second person that said this though.
Totally. T-Rich, we ride, T-Rich. We ride, T-Rich. All right, T-Rich. Speaking of riding, your Bama Roll Tide, Crimson Tide rolled in LSU and gave him a beat down. I mean, it was a smack your mama situation when they taste my ribs that Shaun tasted in my house the other day. Where you at with that game? And you happy with that performance? And is that going to catapult them into a college playoff discussion?
Yeah, I definitely think they're in the discussion, especially if they do what they're supposed to be doing from here on out. They got to win out. And, like I say, it's the SEC. You can win any given Saturday out there, So it's one of those things where, that's a great win. That's a great win. We needed it. We shouldn't have been in that position to need it, but it's one of those things like we're here now, and we got to make sure we got to keep working. I'm happy with the win. I knew those guys could. I told y'all last year how I thought about Brian. I really don't. He showed me something last year when he swung his nuts last year. He went for the 2-point, or I think he ran in overtime or something. He did something. He swung him last year, but before then I didn't respect him as a coach because the effort I seen when they played against Notre Dame and Bama in the national championship game, and he was just like, we just happy to be here. And he was just, it was almost like the fight was already taken out of him. But man, I think it was well deserved. But it's one of those things like, fellas, don't get comfortable with this situation. This is not the standard. And it's one of those situations where it's like, y'all seen what happened early on when we beat Georgia. The next two games wasn't the games that we supposed to been having and supposed to be building on. So don't let this one win set you up for that okadoke.
Shaun, did Ole Miss beating Georgia help Tennessee more or Alabama more?
So here's what Bama needs. Bama needs Tennessee and Texas to win out and play in the SEC title game, both as one-loss teams. Because that'll add a loss to Georgia, Texas A&M, and Ole Miss, I think. I think Ole Miss got one of them left. Yeah, so that's what y'all need. Y'all need to be volunteer and Longhorn fans. Because right now it's a log jam of 2 lost teams in the SEC.
Yeah, but they're going to take 4 out of that conference, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, they're going to take 4 out of the SEC, bro. Like, it's no way
no way you take 2 out of Colorado in them league. That shit is horrible league.
Okay,
you're not getting 2 out of the ACC. Who's that going to?
Look at it like this. Let's say you get an undefeated Oregon and one loss Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. But then you got a 1-loss Indiana and a 1-loss Penn State sitting there as well.
Yeah, but that comes down to
it's some tricky little scenarios, where you want to kind of
But does Oregon re-beat Ohio State, or does Ohio State beat Oregon and they both have a loss beating each other? That's the scenario.
I think they both get in either way.
Even if Oregon beats Ohio State again?
Yeah, Ohio State still be sitting there at what?
Don't Indiana got to play somebody coming up soon?
Ohio
State this weekend.
That's gonna show a lot. Like that's gonna be the real test right there.
Hey, speaking of that, let's dive into it real quick. Indiana takes on Ohio State. The winner of this game pretty much seals its fate, right? That means Indiana was basically going to head and play Oregon, right, Shaun?
Yeah, Indiana's on a bye this week.
When do they got Ohio State? Next week?
Ohio State the weekend after the bye. So as fate would have it, they get a whole extra week to get fully healthy and to really lock in on the – but I'll say this. Very rarely will Ohio State actually lose to an inferior team, like a team that can't match them athletically. Like, you really don't see Ohio State lose to that kind of team that often. So I anticipate it'll be a close game, but Jeremiah Smith and Travion Henderson and all of them, they'll find a way to make enough plays to win a close game.
Yeah, that's what history tells us. Signetti says Google him, though. That motherfucker win game. I'm just saying, he's going to be I'm telling you right now, it's going to be very interesting to me.
So let me ask y'all this. Did y'all watch Indiana, Michigan? Did y'all get a chance to watch any of it?
I saw a little bit on the boat. It was a close game. I know.
If Michigan had
offense.
The low average quarterback play, they win that game.
Yeah,
I get it. But their defense has kept them in many games, though. Their defense is still damn pretty good.
So I'm just projecting Ohio State's more talented, better than Michigan. They can actually produce points, but they got the same kind of salty defense. Defense got after Indiana.
Yeah, I don't think Ohio State's defense is as good as Michigan's defense. Right?
But what happens is it turns into one of those situations where, like when Alabama playing Tennessee, like, no, it's Tennessee. We ain't got to get ready for this game. You know, you still going to have that name on you no matter what.
Yeah.
Cleveland, like right now, Cleveland Browns, after maybe 40-some years, just wiping that name off them, and it's still like, oh, it's Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how the game has been. And so when you get that mindset around there, like, them kids better come to work. Like, because if not, Indiana going to come up there and punch in your mouth. And Ohio State, that might be you not getting in that playoff bracket.
The games at Ohio State, this is in the horseshoe.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is historically, under Ryan Day, Urban Meyer, Ohio State has not lost games to these type of teams.
I hear you, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I agree with you.
The closest Indiana's beat, the closest Indiana's been, Kevin Wilson was the head coach. They went in there before Kevin was then hired after being fired at Indiana as the OC at Ohio State. He went in there and they had a good shot at beating Ohio State that year. They were in the game in the fourth quarter, and Ohio State pulled away from them late. That was the only time Indiana's had a shot at beating Ohio State. I think this is a much better team this year and a much better head coach in Signetti. So I'm curious to see the game at least. Let's dive into some things that's happened real quick. The firings are occurring. The Saints fired their head coach. They win the game right after. 1 week later, they beat the Falcons this past Sunday. Shane Waldron was just fired, I believe, for the Bears this morning. The former Bears OC who went to the Raiders, Antonio Pierce, fired him this past week. Luke Getsy. And Matt Rule has made changes at Nebraska at the college level. And then
Dana Holgerson, the OC,
Norvell threw his guys under the bus. And then Norvell threw his guys at Florida State under the bus after getting drubbed by Notre Dame, almost having to have 100 put on him. So let's talk Nebraska first. Matt Rule hires Dana Holgerson. You guys know Dana probably. I've known him for a long time. He's a fiery whippersnapper, to say the least. These two have known each other a long time. He's been helping them with in an unknown capacity for the last days. He's just a guy waiting to get another job, right? And that's what they do. They rub each other's backs. Like T-Rich said, this will be the same guy they hired. He'll be the head coach next year at fucking wherever, Auburn. So that's just how it goes. What is the impact going to be this late in the season, though, to help Nebraska get ready as they take on SC?
You know, I consider both of these guys friends. I did the internship with Matt Rule. I know Dana very well. I don't know how you enhance anything by making this change after 9 games in the season.
I don't either.
And Dana spent the first half of the season at TCU.
I know.
So it's not like he was there for preseason for all. Like, this is a strange one to me. Very strange. I wonder, does it have something to do with maybe the quarterback Raiola having whispers about leaving because him not liking the offense or something? I wonder, does it have something to do with that?
Or does it have something to do with this is a done deal? Dana has no job opportunity next year, and he's going to be the OC next year for Nebraska. That's the only way I can see you doing this. You can't hire a guy week 9 and keep him for 2 weeks, and then he's fired and looking for a job, or leaves and looking for a job. You would lose the locker room as Matt Rule, no?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we live in a world that, I mean, it's possible.
Right, it's possible. Because I definitely think Dana name because it's going to come up for some jobs. I think Dana's career path is going to be like Rich Rod. I don't know if he'll get a Power 4 caliber job again, but there'll be a Jacksonville State level job if he wants to take it because he still wants to be a head coach that he'll be able to get. And they'll be pretty salty, just like Rich Rod got Jacksonville State real salty right now. I think he's on that kind of career arc.
Okay, speaking of a coach that I'm not really close with, didn't allow him in my office for a couple reasons, but Luke Fickell at Wisconsin lost a coach yesterday, and I don't know if you heard about how he lost them, but have you heard this story?
Uh-uh.
All right, for the audio listeners out there, Jack Del Rio, SC guy, former head coach for the Jacksonville Jags and other places, basically wanted out so bad at Wisconsin, he drove his car through a fence and landed on a person's lawn, finished the beer in the car, y'all, and then called the cops on himself. That's the story that I've heard. And he was arrested and immediately quit or fired at Wisconsin last night. I'm telling you, Fickell is a motherfucker. People don't like people don't fuck with him. Anyway, I'm just giving you some insight on what's going on. This motherfucker fired himself. He wanted out so bad, drinking on the lawn of somebody. That's a real story, by the way. This happened. So what's your take on this cat, Jack Del Rio, driving through a lady's front lawn and drinking on the job to get fired? I'm just telling you right now, that has to be the story of the week. Y'all know Luke Fickell?
I know Jack Del Rio.
And I see your eye. I do too. That motherfucker's a piece of shit too. But anyway, go ahead.
Can't you walk in the AD office and just say I quit? I mean, this seems pretty extreme.
Like Jack just went up in there like, hey, fuck you, fuck you. You cool. F you too.
Hey, T-Rich, you say you know Jack Del Rio. Was he with the Raiders when you was at Raiders?
Mm-hmm.
I thought
he was hitting it then.
I thought so.
Real hard, yeah.
Can you imagine crashing, finishing the drink, and calling the popo on yourself? Like, that's a cold move, dog.
That's my boy Blue.
Oh,
hey,
man.
let me ask you something. Is there a brother in the league that fuck with Jack Del Rio? I'll just throw that out there. But anyway, T-Rich know what I know, and he know what I know. So anyway, we're moving on amicably. Boy, I know motherfuckers that want to get at Jack Del Rio. I know personally.
Man, what?
I never worked with him or played for him, so I don't know him.
Hey, there's a reason he ain't in the league. Because the grown men league, they know they can't even hire the motherfucker in the NFL because he'll get his ass whooped in the locker room. I'm just telling you, that's how I know that story. Like, it's deep. But it's crazy. I can't believe I did not know he was at Wisconsin, but it makes
I didn't know. It make a lot of sense though. It make a lot of sense.
Make a lot of sense with Fickell, don't it? I'm trying to tell y'all, man. You guys don't have no clue about the Fickell situation that I know. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. The Bears fire an OC, and I got to dive right into this, Shaun, because your guy that you played with, shared a locker room with, Dan Orlovsky, is again defending the player over the franchise, and it's never the player's fault. It's always the franchise. The Chicago Bears are the barrier. Take a listen.
A lot of Bears fans, and I know a lot of them closely and personally, who are freaking out today. Should they be?
Absolutely. This offense is broken, and they're breaking the quarterback. This is as broken a pass game as you can have in the NFL. There's nothing better, or there's nothing that is getting better. The same issues, holding the football too long. So just a couple clips. Man coverage. I mean, we're holding on to the football for almost 5 seconds. No one was open. Check it away. Do something. We have to play faster at the top of our drops. 3rd and 7. Caleb drops back. No one's open. Okay, great. Move. Get off your spot. Playing so slow at the top of your drop is an issue. That ball should be out right now. DJ Moore, you're picking the top guy. It's late, and then it's a missed throw because your feet are so late. This is a curl flat read. Everybody in the NFL. Caleb is running from the pocket, getting out of the pocket before anybody's actually even in their route. The pocket, just one shuttle move, and you could throw that football down to that curl over the top at the top of the screen. The quarterback at the top of his drop is playing way too slow. He's seeing it way too slow. There are moments when guys aren't open. He will not throw the football away right now. The offense, there's nothing easy. I don't like the scheme. I don't think they're doing anything to help people get open. That's how you get a broken offense.
All right, let me be Dan Orlowski for a minute and be the JB term of it. So this is what, because you move your hands a lot, Dan, doesn't mean you know shit. So I just want to be clear. So here's what I'm going to say. The pain and nail one is sitting there, and every time Dan said the word he, meaning the quarterback, how the hell, Dan, are you blaming the franchise when everything you just said was he won't throw the ball away? He won't climb up in the pocket when it's clean. He won't see it. He won't throw it. Isn't that a quarterback problem, not the franchise? I'm confused, Shaun. You're a quarterback. T-Rich, you played in the league. I'm trying to figure out why the team's not pissed off when you take a sack when you have a clean pocket, because your ass can't see it is a you problem, not the franchise. Am I wrong?
If Bailey can go to my Twitter, I actually retweeted and responded to Dan on that first video. And I was like, listen, stop making shit up. This is an outbreaking route. Like, he's supposed to be throwing this ball with anticipation. The flat route is open, and then talking about the system is screwed up. I'm like, man, Dan, cut it out. Do you think it has something to do to that initial one?
All right, Bailey will find it, I'm sure, as the great producer he is. I'm curious though. You think that has something to do on the flip side of his counterpart defending cover 2 in Mina Kimes?
You comparing Orlowski to Mina Kimes? I mean, I think Orlowski be making shit up and seeing shit that I don't see a lot, but I ain't gonna put him in Mina Kimes grouping.
Hey, Mina Kimes say cover 2 is the reason quarterback plays so bad, but then on the other side, quarterback's plays the best she's ever seen. So I'm trying to figure it out. All right. Here's Shaun. Here's Shaun. Shaun said, Dan, I'm not even anti-Caleb, but you are tripping on that first play. He has to anticipate the comeback and the deep out route by Moore. Also, the flat route is open as well. Just saying, don't start making shit up, my guy.
I had, and I don't really like to do that publicly, but like sometimes he gets so carried away. Like, Dan, let's pull this back in for a second, dog. Come on.
So like, Dan up there just making like, bro, like, this is the crazy thing though. Like this shit happens, right? Mm-hmm. And these owners listen to this. These GMs listen to that stuff, and then
all the fanboys, fantasy football play guys.
And next thing you know, somebody's fired or somebody's cut because of what these guys are on here saying, and they're putting out the wrong information.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to me, man. I don't get it. I want to. You both played in the league. Let me ask you both in the locker room right after that game. Are they not sitting there and saying, "Man, the Bears screwed you, Caleb. I'm sorry you're in our locker room with us." No, they're saying, "Man, you got to play better. Throw the damn ball away. Don't take a sack." I'm trying to figure out how you think they're really in there blaming the organization, Dan. You were there, and Shaun was with you in Detroit. I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to figure out how you defend the I don't get why you never put this is an over-delivering or overpaid, under-delivering era at quarterback. I that's my thing. Shaun has a little different spin on it, but I think it's an overpaid, under-delivering era, man. I don't know.
I just think, man, listen, y'all got to stop. And when I say y'all, I'm actually talking to the actual organizations. Y'all got to stop thinking that college talent equals consistent NFL production immediately. the jump from college football to the pros is significant, man. When you play quarterback at Southern Cal, you may play 2 defenses that year that are legit. They can match up athlete for athlete. You know, they got 4 defensive linemen. Man, when you get in that league, man, every week, man, all those guys are elite, man. Them defensive linemen, good as they ever been. Those guys can cover the schemes that you're looking at. Like, it takes time, and you have to fail a lot when you're a Caleb-type player that plays outside of the fundamental, like, system. All of his explosive plays are, I'm faster than the D lineman in college, so I'm going to run around. My wide receivers are better than most of the DBs, so they're going to scramble drill, and we're going to create big plays. He finding out it ain't like that in the NFL. First of all, your receivers ain't out there for that. They're going to look at you crazy like, man, that's running, dog. Like, I done ran this goddamn deep dig, and I'm open. Throw me the ball. Then you're going to start finding out them boys can't get paid because you ain't getting them the ball consistently. And they're going to start looking at you funny, you know. They'll start sending your ass to voicemail when you call, you know, they were answering them texts right back initially. Going to be the next day now.
It's crazy because at the end of the day, like he said, like bro, it's like if you don't have a mindset of thinking like every year is a contract year, you in trouble. Like I'm telling you, because it's gonna come that year, especially when it come contract year, to where
well, stats matter.
Yeah, like, and if you're not with the old boys, that's not your team. That's not your, like, man. Listen, bro, you on the outside. Like how, like.
And JB, he getting smooth cussed out in the O-line room every Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Because that stat say Bears give up 6 sacks, and them boys in there like, man, 4 of them sacks was after 5 seconds of protection. Oh, he getting cussed smooth out.
All right, so I got another beef, and I don't know if Bailey can find it, but so on ESPN this morning on Get Up, what's the dude's name? Foxworthy or whatever?
Foxworth.
Dominic. Dominic blamed Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. Why are they so defending of Caleb Williams? Because they all picked him to be the GOAT before the season, I think. That's what I think. So Keenan Allen, who was a stud forever from Cal onto the Chargers, is now just digressed. And DJ Moore, who had a pretty damn good year last year with
Justin Fields. Yeah. Nah, he can't play no flavor.
All of a sudden, he's bad. So they're the problem now, not the quarterback. This shit is mind-boggling to me, dog. I don't understand. Like,
Michael Penix had Roma Dunze looking like a top 10 pick. Now all of a sudden he can't play.
What he done?
Y'all remember Dunze's dad showed that Target tape earlier in the year. Remember they were getting on Dunze for not being producing, and his dad went on Twitter and posted a video of how many times Dunze be open.
That's the problem, man, when you have, like, the Mina Khans and all. Listen, it is what it is, man. I just think that those guys come out there and spit this rhetoric, like T-Rich said, and then that's what becomes gospel. Because the normal fan, the average fan who plays DraftKings FanDuel, who never played, never coached, don't have a clue about what they're looking at, Caleb got him 40 draft points one day, and now they think he's the shit. I'm just telling you, that's just real talk, dog. I don't know. That's just my take on it, but I don't know.
But it's just like what Shaun just said. Like, if like y'all think this college talent, like especially at the quarterback position, and most of the time, for real, like sometime at the receiver position and cornerback position too, like that early splash onto the scene, like it don't happen like that, man, because like these guys has been like studying their craft for years before you was even thought of for an NFL player. And these guys are out here feeding their family. This is their livelihood. Like, I'm not for letting no kid, no rookie come out here and make me look crazy so they can replace me. This is who they bringing me in for? This is who they break? Oh, okay. All right, cool. This is what we're doing. Like, you got to understand that, like, but what these folks want, they want this, I call it the microwave effect, instant grits. They want that instant grits. And you get that for a second, right? Then them guys are nothing. They're lumpy grits. They're the wet grits. Like, it's crazy, man. But don't give them kids a time to develop, man. Like, I think everyone, like, quarterbacks should at least, and this is me personally, if you got it, you got it. I get it. But at least a year behind a guy that can make you viable, like they did Your guy out there, Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers, Mahomes, Brady, everybody. I mean, they all set. Like, you know.
I think one or two things, JB. Either you have to have a veteran so he can sit and learn, or you have to be honest with the fan base about the expectation. Like they don't want me on radio in Chicago anymore because before the season, I said y'all are like the Cowboy fan base right now. Y'all are delusional. Like y'all are talking 10 wins, playoffs. I was man, this kid is not ready to play at a consistent level. Y'all gonna have to let this kid fail and accept the failure, and then build upon the things he did wrong. And hopefully in year 2, he'll be a consistent quarterback.
2 guys that played in that organization come on this show. Brian Urlacher and Tank Johnson both said the same thing. Like, we're delusional. And Urlacher grew up a Cowboys fan. He's like, I said your Bears the other day, and he was like, don't say my Bears. I'm like, that's Urlacher and Tank. And they're like, this is a delusional organization. And here's why. You drafted Caleb at quarterback when you already had a guy in Justin Fields who had 3 years under his feet wet in the league as a starter and was getting better. Then you don't have no help with him. Now you get him help. Just imagine year 4 this year with him at the helm, and you draft the tackle that the Chargers got. And then you go get, let's say you still can get, probably could have got Udonzi. You could have had him too, and now you're a better team. I don't get it, man. That's a bad organization, and it's ran bad. We got some great topics to end the show with real quick. And this is coming right back into the SEC wheelhouse, T-Rich. Georgia player Jake Pope was seen celebrating as Ole Miss won the game over Georgia with Ole Miss fans. I got to get both of you.
Yeah, that was weird. This was weird.
Man.
This was real weird.
Norm. This is the new norm. But here's what Kirby Smart had to say.
There's a video on social media of Jake Pope seemingly celebrating with some Ole Miss fans on the field after the game. Just wanted to see if you had seen that and what your reaction to it was.
Yeah, what an idiot. I mean, just stupid. I didn't see it till today, but he's embarrassed about it. He's upset about it. That's obviously a childhood friend of his. He grew up and played with there at Buford and knows him, hadn't seen him in forever, but just not real smart. But to be honest with you, I don't have time to waste energy on that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like my focus is on Tennessee. I'm not worried about that.
Now, let me ask you real quick. I got to get some context here, T-Ray. If that was anyone that's good, let's just be real. Is he even commenting? He probably says no comment, but he called that motherfucker idiot. Like, that guy don't play, right? You're dumbfounded, right?
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this. Like, I don't. It's one of those situations where it look like he look like he's never gonna play. To be real, but it's like one of those things. Like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like,
that motherfucker doing House of Pain, jump around.
Like, what are you doing? Like we just lost. You celebrating with?
He's not tripping on losing at all. Look at him. He's as happy as can be.
You know when the season's over, he's gonna transfer to Ole Miss.
He can already go. Like
he going back home. That's the only thing that makes sense.
You got to cut him. You got to cut him, though, right?
Miss, yeah.
If you guys are,
I mean, he didn't cut himself. Like what? Like
exactly.
You can't come back in the locker room after that.
But I've been seeing this quite a few times from other teams this year too. I've been noticing cats celebrating and chilling with other teams' fans, and this is a jersey swap era, man. I mean, these cats don't care no more. When we started breaking them all, I'm just telling you, that's just my old man opinion, man. I think we've set up for failure, man. We've opened Pandora's box, and you ain't never getting it back. That's my opinion. I don't know.
Like, I could understand, like, maybe the indifference at the pro level, but not at the college level. Man, college, you live and die when y'all win and lose. Like, it ain't just you emotionally attached to everything. By the time you get 4, 5, 6 years in the league, you are concerned about your performance and your side of the ball's performance. So, like, if y'all go out and have a great game and we just suck on the other side of the ball, like, yeah, you might be mad we won, but you ain't going to go home and not eat that night. In college, man, we lost. You didn't see me till the next week. I was distraught.
T-Rich want to go find him right now. T-Rich so mad right now, and he
Yeah, like man, like
T-Rich ain't mad. T-Rich,
he don't even know that kid.
T-Rich like we don't do that in Bama. We fight on the field during the game.
Like you imagine that?
Yeah, that couldn't man. Yeah, he wouldn't even made it back into the locker room. Like,
but think about this. Hey, JB, in the same year, we've had a Georgia player celebrating after the game with the opposing team crowd. We had an Alabama player refusing to come out of a game in the Vanderbilt loss, the defensive guy. I mean, this is where college football is right now. It's a shit show.
It is. It is a shit show. That's disgusting to watch. I'm just to be honest. As a former player, coach, whatever you want to call it, a competitor, just a competitor. If I was just a straight up Wall Street wolf, I'm pissed watching that, and I never played it down in football. That's just competitive edge is just ridiculous.
Somebody in the chat say, "Yeah, this kid took Ole Miss and teased the over."
That's the problem, though. That's real talk, though, because the betting world, T-Rich, I think the betting world has started to seep into this thing, man, as far as NFL and college football now. When money's involved, I think it's, like I said, getting the pace back out the tube, man.
Y'all know what the betting world is, man. Y'all know who them folks behind that. They're going to find their way in the scene some type of way, so
yeah,
they just going to do it out there in the public.
All right. This topic's gonna be this topic right here is gonna be a funny one, man. This topic right here, T-Rich. I don't know if you're ready for this one. Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend, a cold piece too. God, I don't know what Travis Kelce's doing. Kayla Nicole said that Taylor Swift is the reason the Chiefs players' wives and girlfriends no longer talk to her. Now I gotta be honest. He looked like he walking in with milk and magnesia that just came off a middle school basketball court, and that is what he gave up. I don't give a fuck. If you don't like white girls, if you don't like sisters, you got eyes and ears, and that shit is a downgrade.
Hey, shout out to Taylor Swift, man. I ain't fucking with the Swifties. Hey, man, y'all come at JB. Don't leave me the fuck alone.
Hey, I'm with Shaun. I ain't fooling with that. I don't want to get canceled. No.
Hey, T-Rich, I might not wake up tomorrow. What
Shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off.
Hey, man, live your life.
I just want to look at the girl on the left. Shit.
Shout out to her too.
Yeah,
That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy right there. Yeah, I don't get it. Man. I really don't get it. Anyway, I got to get in some controversial takes real quick. The Sauce Gardner, I came on this show, and I said the Chiefs got a bad nucleus. I'm sorry, the Jets. The Jets got a bad nucleus. I said Sauce Gardner don't want to hit nobody, pulls himself out the game. He don't want to tackle anyone, and I think he's overrated. And then I said Garrett Wilson has been overrated to date. Then Garrett go out and ball 2 weeks in a row, got a crazy catch. He looks like he's back. Then the other night, again, they show up. They're no-show again against Arizona. There's a video out here that we're going to show you that Sauce Gardner leaving the game Sunday against the Cardinals is basically going viral as fans notice his uniform is spotless, and they were playing on grass. I got a issue with this, man. I've been telling you, I've been seeing this cat clean as a whistle. This is, to me, again, the overpaid, under-delivering era. Like, this cat don't want to tackle. I've broken down plays where he literally runs out of bounds. I don't understand how you pay a guy like this.
This is a weird one because he was so opposite at you versus Cincinnati.
I know.
I mean, when you watch his Cincinnati film, he's a dude's dude. But I'll say this, man. When you look at the rookie year him and Garrett Wilson had,
yeah.
Since Aaron Rodgers has become a part of the Jets, I mean, both of them look like, and in a bad way, they don't look close to the players.
Why? How does that happen? How does that happen? Why would Sauce Gardner be affected?
I think the energy, maybe he pissed off Aaron got Saleh fired. I mean, different things affect people different ways. I mean, Saleh, a defensive guy. Sauce defensive rookie of the year under Saleh. Then Aaron come in there with the bullshit. Now Saleh gone. I mean, them little things matter. They inside of an organization, like people understand you're in this building every day with these people.
He looked like he was dressed up.
When you get in your feelings about something, I mean, it'd be hard to get a rich dude out of his feelings.
Hey, I thought that was a fan. I thought that was a fan dressed up for Halloween, looking like Sauce Gardner. That motherfucker clean as a whistle.
Yeah, Sauce really. He ain't got a
He
football.
ain't Sauce Gardner. He ain't
Like-
Sauce. That motherfucker look like blue cheese and ranch. He ain't no Sauce.
Hey, Brees Hall don't look the same half the time.
I thought a clean white. He had the clean whites on. He was taking pictures. I thought he thought it was picture day. That motherfucker was so clean. He was like, "We not taking pictures today." There's no way you're a corner on grass.
Man, Aaron Rodgers ruined the whole organization, man. They had
So you think Aaron the cancer?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You heard what Mike Williams did. Mike Williams,
tread lightly now. You know, JB. You know that's his boy now.
Hey,
you know?
hey, listen.
No, he ain't my boy.
Hey, Trent. Mike Williams.
I think a motherfucker weird. I like A-Rod. I think he's weird, motherfucker.
Mike Williams went to the Steelers and started doing exactly what he was doing for the Chargers, which is catching deep balls down the field. Posted the video and put #redline.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, dog.
Did he do that?
Yes.
Hey, I even heard Chris Berman on his fastest 3 minutes said something about red line. He was clowning too. Look, I gotta ask you guys something though. Let's be real. Is it Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
Or is it the Jets?
Nah, it's Rodgers.
The fucking Jets ain't won since Joe Namath walked out in the meat coat. We're blaming Aaron Rodgers. What have the Jets done in the last 45 years?
Now they screwed up by drafting Zach Wilson. They botched that, but man, listen.
Tell me this: who has the worst name in NFL? Cleveland Browns. I'm talking about just like over the
historically
Cleveland Browns, the Jets, or I ain't gonna say. Can I say Cowboys?
You can.
They've won though. How about Carolina? Bears? Jags? Giants?
Jags in the playoffs though. What, 2 of the last 3 years?
Yeah, Giants were in the playoffs a couple years and won a playoff game. Cardinals.
Yeah, ain't nothing. Yeah.
Raiders. Your Raiders and your Cleveland Browns team.
The curse of Trent.
It's all T-Rich fucking fault. T-Rich just told him. T-Rich just did some T-Rich just
that shit in the ancestors out there. That shit waiting for me.
T-Rich just did some shit that his motherfucker did. He just told him motherfucker self.
Hey, the curse of Trent. Until you do right by me, everything you touch gon' fail.
All right, real quick, before we do some hell yeah, hell no, and get you all out of here, man. I appreciate you coming in. Former Pro Bowl O-lineman Russell Okung got paid $6.5 million of his 2020 salary in Bitcoin. Right during the pandemic, Bitcoin was up, and now it's worth $20 million. I heard he cashed out with $45 million is actually what I heard, but I don't know if it's 20 or 45. That is alleged, but apparently it's at least $20 million. Smart business move. He's smarter than everybody else because OBJ did the same thing, and I heard that motherfucker broke. So what happened?
Whatever he went in on here, he hit big. Yeah. Great move by him on that one.
I mean, there's been such fluctuation in Bitcoin since 2020 to now.
Yeah, it's high now.
I mean, he'd have to show me that he let the 6.5 just sit in there to this point.
I heard it's 45 million though today. I don't know.
Yeah, if he let it sit, but I mean, Bitcoin has gone.
Bitcoin's at like 90K right now.
Right, but we knew post-election, if Trump was elected, that Bitcoin was going to shoot up, the stock market was going to have a boost. So you're seeing the immediate impact of that. But I'm talking, I mean, from 20 to before the election, that thing was all over the place.
Hey, I heard that
dropping 15, 16.
I heard that the day after Trump won the election last week, 300 billionaires doubled their money. That's what I heard on a Dow Jones site. The 300 billionaires doubled their money. Holy shit. I'm still broke. I'm still broke though. So I'm trying to figure it out. I'm still broke.
So you saying the second yacht?
Yeah, I want to get a second yacht. So when T-Rich come out here and we go out on the water, you know.
I'm on the way.
It's a good time. T-Rich is a good time. I had a good time.
Hey, T-Rich, Shaun King finally came out here and did it. He did it one time, but he only coming from Vegas. T-Rich got to come all the way across the country, so it's a little different.
I will say this. Get used to riding. Because everything in California our way. Don't let them trick you. Ain't nothing close.
Hey, T-Rich, no. T-Rich was in Scottsdale. You know, he worked out in Scottsdale.
I love out there. You know, I was in Scottsdale. I was in Oakland, you know.
Yeah, we got to get you back to LA. Real quick before we end the show, San Jose State coach Ken Navalotto. He's at San Jose State now. Legend at Navy, had a Navy real 10-win team every year. Goes off on the refs after a win. That's how bad the refs are this year. After a win, he went after these motherfuckers. Do you know anything about this, Shaun? Do you know what's going on here?
They had a big – didn't they be like Oregon State or somebody?
Yeah, Oregon State.
I didn't even see this. This is my first time seeing this. What was he mad about?
Apparently some calls to end the game. Apparently he didn't have the they were like running the clock weird, and he was pissed off about how the clock should have been over. The game should have been ended, and one of his guys got hit, I know, and it shouldn't have happened. He was like, the guy shouldn't have got hit that late when the game should have been over already. A bunch of other things as far as that goes too. Ralph, I ain't saying his name again. But yeah, so that's where I think that. But you alluded to the refs the other day being as bad as they are. You guys have seen it in every conference. The Big 12 may be the worst, but the NFL refs have been the worst I've ever seen. I don't know. You guys, I don't know. The refs are bad right now.
I think the refs got to understand, man, like, when you coach college football, you don't get no off days, man. You in that damn building from sunrise to middle of the night. Forget sunset. You running behind kids, trying to make sure they getting their academic stuff right, that they get the game plan.
Yeah.
They locked into all the different red zone, short yardage, goal line. You getting yelled at for everything by the head coach. I mean, when you get to the game, you just want the refs to be fair. And when they be unfair, man, you get emotional about that, man. You be like, we worked too hard to get here for this bullshit now. I mean, and my thing, the ref, they be missing some obvious stuff. Like, you be like, what are you looking at?
Yeah, it's bad. As bad as it gets, man. Hell yeah, hell no to end the show, man. T-Rich, you go first. Shaun will go last. Second, I'll go last. Hell yeah, hell no. Brought to you by BetUS. Head on over there today and use my promo code CoachJB. Dylan Gabriel will win the Heisman. Hell yeah, hell no. T-Rich.
You said who?
Oregon quarterback, Dylan Gabriel.
Nah.
It has to be hell no. You don't even know the motherfucker.
Hell no. He ain't winning.
If he go undefeated, he might.
I don't think he deserves it, but I think he's going to win it if Oregon goes undefeated.
I'm going to say hell nah, man. I'm going
to say hell nah.
He old as hell. I listen, he like Chris.
Yeah, like how? Like
they go undefeated, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I'd give it to Genty all day long. That's just me.
I would give it to Travis Hunter, but I just think
I even go Travis Hunter, Genty or Travis Hunter, either or. You know, like that couldn't be a bad, look on either or.
Cam Ward's out. Cam Ward's out. Shaun?
No,
he's still in.
No, he's still in it. He's gonna get invited. So when you ask me, is he out? No, he's gonna get invited to the.
I don't think Cam will win it, but he gonna definitely get invited. Yeah.
Well, damn.
He's 4 or 5.
Well, damn. If 5, let's say 5 or 4 get invited, you got Cam Ward, you got Genty's got to get on the ballot. You got to have Travis Hunter. It's probably gonna be Gabriel, right? And who else?
Man, Cam Ward is on pace to throw for almost 40-something touchdowns and 4,000 yards. The only reason that I say I'm not sure about Gabriel statistically is only at like 2,000 some yards and 22 touchdowns. So he's just not like lighting it up statistically.
And he's old as hell. All right, hell yeah, hell no. Boise State will win out and make the college football playoff.
Who they got left?
I think they got
San Jose this week.
They got I know they got San Jose, and I think they got who?
They got San Jose State, Wyoming, and Oregon State.
Yeah, I say they went out.
And they'll be the representative?
If they had any chance, yeah. It's just tough in that league, man.
And then they go play Alabama?
Yeah, like then you go play Alabama and get, and that's not, not being biased, but that's just, or you go play a Georgia or, you know what I mean? It's going to be the same thing, and it's just not fair.
And if Genty run for 200 on them, that motherfucker the Heisman. I'm telling you, people ain't giving that dude enough credit. He a one-man band, man. Boise State. He had 200 on Oregon. He had 200 on Oregon, Shaun. Stop.
JB, hell no.
Here's
why.
Hey, he's so hyped on Tulane.
Here's why.
He thinks Tulane getting in.
Damn right. Army's going to beat Notre Dame. Army's going to beat Navy. Tulane going to kick that Black Knight booty in the AAC title game, and Tulane gets in the college football playoff and wins their first game.
Oh, now Smitty is back. Fuck.
We didn't beat Southern Cal in the Cotton Bowl with Caleb Williams.
Smitty back, T-Rich.
We didn't beat Caleb Williams and USC in the Cotton Bowl.
Is Ball State in here? Hell yeah, hell no. SMU will win the ACC. You hold on though. No. I gotta pat my motherfucking self on the back.
You've been right on this one.
I've been dropping questions though. It's not even about me picking SMU from the gate, which I have.
You have.
I want to bring up a bigger issue. Y'all are both stuck on everything I'm mentioning right now.
No, you told T-Rich to go first.
No, you know why?
Yeah, you told T-Rich to go first. I'm waiting on T-Rich.
Football is watered down, and it is as shitty as it's ever been. And y'all don't even know who's playing, who's coaching, and it's just shitty-ass football.
No, that narrative is dead in this particular situation. You said T-Rich go first. So I'm being a good co-host today and waiting on T-Rich to go.
I get it, but we're all stuck. I don't know either. This is shitty, man. T-Rich, you know damn well it's shitty. He's like, who? Football is so bad. SMU's good. Tulane.
Hey. There will be no Tulane disrespect on this show.
Like what? What are you talking about? Like, I'll be honest, dog. I'm with T-Rich. Can we put 8 SEC teams in the motherfucking 12 playoff?
You know what I don't understand about SMU, JB? And I have not watched a whole lot of them. Their quarterback position has only thrown 16 touchdowns on the year. And they're 8-1.
But
the whole position.
But Mina Conte quarterback play best has ever been.
I gotta go do a deep dive on SMU.
We gotta do a deep dive in everything.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's what JB's saying. Like we gotta do a deep dive on all that shit, man.
We gotta do a deep dive in NFL, college football, high school.
Don't agree with JB. Don't agree with
high
JB,
school, man. Football's so bad.
It's hard not to, bro. Like I'm trying to fight it. Like,
I got everybody. Hey, T-Rich, don't be T-Rich. Stand on it. I got Kirk Herbstreit hitting me up saying you was the only guy on the hill for 5 years. I'm with you now, JB. I got motherfucking Shaun's old former counterpart, Merrill Hodge. JB, you've been the only motherfucker saying it. Quarterbacks are horrible. I've been saying that. Football's as bad as I've ever seen. T-Rich, stand on business. Shaun King's gonna break. He gonna come over. He gonna come over.
It ain't the quarterback's fault.
Well, whose fault is it? They daddies? Daddy should have pulled out?
It's the bullshit coaching profession's fault.
Well, I told you that too. Yeah. We failed the quarterbacks. We failed them. White boys, tell them.
These coordinators don't want a real quarterback coach in that room. They want their little analytical buddy.
I know.
That does all the graphs and the printouts, and that's why the position sucks.
All right, here's a laugher right here. Here's a comical hell yeah, hell no. Oh, man, Bailey. Hell yeah, hell no, T-Riz. Colorado has a legit chance of winning Natty.
T-Rich. Oh, man, you ran the man off the show, man. Hey, Bailey. Hey, Bailey.
Bailey replaced T-Rich because that's it. Booted everybody. Everybody left.
Bailey, listen.
Everybody
hell
left.
Yes. Hell yes, they got a chance.
Smitty, where's Smitty at?
Wow.
Where's
Now I
Smitty
expect Shaun King to go this way. Let's hear it.
Hey, here's why you and McChesney should have me on y'all's show at some point. Because I can come on as the voice of reason. Because I'm not no homer for Colorado. I'm not no homer for Deion. I haven't been shouting that Colorado's going to do this, that. I've been very, very, I think, honest in the fact that I've said I want to wait and see. I said it's impossible to evaluate them because we've never seen this kind of roster turnover.
Yeah, that's
so
a very
now
fair point,
I've got
Shaun.
a lot of data. I can tell where they're good. I know where they're weak at. If they win the Big 12, they get in the college football playoff. In a one and done, I mean, I don't see anybody out there who just terrifies you. To be honest, JB,
I'm kind of with you at that, Shaun.
I'm not saying they're the favorite, but I don't feel like they're going to be in any situation where it's less than 60-40, the other team.
Yeah. You have a point, Shaun. Yeah, we'd love to have you on. I'll reach out to you offline. But, yeah, I mean, if they win the Big 12, are you going to sit here and say they don't have a legitimate shot to win the national championship? When this year we've had Vanderbilt beat fucking Alabama. We've had Ole Miss just took out, I'm not going to say it's not. It's definitely possible. They keep winning.
Facts.
Because who have they beat? Vanderbilt has this fucking resume who they beat. They beat fucking Bama. Who has Colorado beat? That's why they can't win nothing. Come on. It's not even worth talking about.
No, JB, it's worth talking about because at the end of the day, if you eliminate the SEC,
they could beat South Carolina. They would get mud-stopped by South Carolina.
I don't know that you can honestly say that.
Depends on where South Carolina plays.
And here's the thing, though, JB. Who in the SEC can't legitimately lose to South Carolina on a Saturday?
Yeah, good point.
That's what I'm saying.
And Colorado beat
Michael Jordan and the Bulls or Steph Curry and
the Warriors. Let me ask you something, because I'm going to make sure that you're talking out of both sides right now. Would Colorado beat Boise State or Tulane?
I mean, I'm never going against Tulane, but they beat Boise.
I hope they play. I hope they play.
I was at UNLV Boise live. Like this is not a Boise team where they got like 3 receivers going to the NFL and 4.
No, they don't have nobody. That's my point about them.
You don't Taylor Green anymore. It's not like that.
And listen, and Colorado's D-line is the best part of their defense now.
Yeah.
Now he gonna put pressure on Shiloh. Shiloh gonna have to make some tackles. But
yeah,
they'll outscore Boise. Colorado is only going to lose to a team that has a quarterback that can efficiently throw the ball on a consistent basis. I think they're weak in the back end, and they haven't really been challenged like that because the quarterbacks this year in the Big 12 suck. To me, that's what their issue would pop up, is if they play somebody with a top-level quarterback that's got good wideouts. That's why I think they'd have a problem. That's not Boise State.
All right, hell yeah, hell no. Ask both of you guys real quick.
No, I want you to admit on this show today that Colorado will be in the Big 12 championship game. At worst, it's a 50-50 game against BYU, who've been getting lucky as hell. And if they get in the college football playoff, they got a shot.
I'll never admit that. They have no shot. Hell yeah, hell no. And I want Shaun to defend this one because this is his guy. The Texans will win the AFC. They'll figure it out. They'll get their shit together. Nico's back, and they'll win the AFC. They'll win the playoff. They'll beat Ravens. They'll beat Chiefs. They'll beat the Bills. Somebody in the playoffs. Hell yeah or hell no, Shaun. CJ Stroud defender. Go.
No, hell no. I don't think they win the AFC. I tell you right now, and this is not, I'm just saying it. I said it at the beginning of the year. I kind of got a little frustrated because Russ was hurt, but now he's back. They added Mike Williams. I'm telling you, if I had to back a horse in the AFC right now, and this is with everybody staying healthy for all the teams, I would take the Steelers.
I'm with you 100%.
You say it again?
I would take the Steelers, and Bailey said 100%.
Yeah. To win the AFC?
Yeah, it's two elite football minds on the show.
Absolutely.
I've been on the Steelers. I've been the first one on the Steelers.
Well,
I've been on the. I was the first one to say that Russell Wilson gives them a chance. Bailey said it with me. Like, wow.
Their game travels.
Going back to the Colorado thing, I got to go back to Colorado thing because you've actually just destroyed my whole mindset today, and I probably won't be able to have a good day today. Let me tell you something.
Jeez.
I hope Colorado wins now. You know why? Because it's going to prove that JB has been right the entire time. Football is watered down as it's ever fucking been. Colorado wins it all, then college football, we have a problem. And let's just keep it honest and be funky about it. Come on now.
If you're going to say that.
Come on, homies.
But we're not saying they're likely to win it all. I'm saying if they get in, they have a shot. They're not going to be outmanned so significantly against anybody that they don't got a legit shot. That's all we're saying, JB.
Yeah, especially on the offensive side. I mean, you're going to really tell me name a better like offensively weapons, receiving core. Just name an offense you'd rather have.
Ole Miss, Tennessee, Ohio.
Yeah, nice some SC. Like that's the one thing. That's why you and Matt need to bring me on because y'all get a little carried away. And I'm pro Colorado now. But when y'all be saying like they got the best wide receiver group in the country, y'all be like, man, what the hell are y'all
really?
talking about?
You don't believe so? They got 5 legitimate guys that were that
Two of them don't even public play.
Stop, y'all. Stop, man.
Ah, damn. What's his name? Didn't even have any point. Didn't even catch a ball last week.
Stop.
Fuck.
Ooh.
The other guy, the one that was supposed to be all world and hasn't done shit all year. What's his name?
I think Travis Hunter is legit.
What's the other receiver? The good receiver.
14. Yeah. They got 14, 10, and Hunter.
Okay, who's the other receiver that was on? Horn. What did he do last week? What's he been doing?
He's hurt.
I know, that's my point. How are they the best core and the motherfuckers don't even play?
He had a touchdown against Cincinnati that got called back because he went like this, but that's best for you.
So let me break down their group. Travis Hunter, I think, is the best wide receiver in college football.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Horn is very rarely available. 14 is either a Pro Bowler or a guy getting cut in training camp because either he drops the most obvious passes or he makes a one-handed, Randy Moss. Like, there's no in-between with him. And 10 is a little dog. I like 10. 10 a little dog.
Jonte Wester.
Yeah.
He's real consistent.
But when you look at LSU receiving group, Nussmeier just be tripping.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at Ryan Williams and Bama group, Milroe just be tripping.
By the way, SMU's got 3 NFL guys.
In Oxford, and Trey Harris didn't even play, and they mollywop Georgia.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, can you talk about SMU's got 3 NFL guys over there? I don't know.
Yeah, they only threw 16 touchdowns this year. I'm not giving their receiving core.
But again, that's your point. That's your Nussmeier point, though. They don't have a QB. Come on.
He's been up and down. He started off well. I don't know.
UNLV got a guy that they didn't even get the ball, and then the guy that left, and then they bring another guy in. This guy's going bananas lately. Shit, I'm just saying the quarterback matters.
UNLV almost lost to Hawaii.
I know. I'm
That's
not
a tough place to play on the road in Hawaii.
Their
I
team
actually took Hawaii plus the 12.5. That's a tough place to play.
Yeah.
Hey, Shaun, we'll see you tomorrow. You'll be back tomorrow. Bailey, good job, 1s and 2s. Good show, loaded show today. Shit, it went by fast. I didn't even know it was 9:15. Shaun did overtime today. I'll make you some ribs. And we'll be back tomorrow. Shaun, you're back with us, right?
Yep. And let me tell everybody in the chat, stop trying Smitty. Like, they're comparing my takes today to Smitty like Smitty some chump. Like, me and Smitty 2-on-2 against any of y'all. Just let us know.
Me and Bailey.
Nah, we don't want no in-show smoke. Just trying to scare the people posting.
Shout out everybody, man. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member. We'll see you tomorrow. Work Boot Wednesday. Peace.
All right, I'm out.
Issues get pressed so fast, it don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown, kill the ass a rap. We what the game's been missing.